Hello, hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome, wherever you are. Gonna be getting started here very shortly with some King of the Hill action. We've got Falcon versus King of the Dead up first. So get excited. Got Iris T, Golden Eagle, Lord Inquisitor, Nerob, Simon, Anti-Mage. Oh yes. Oh yes. Indeed. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you all. We shall do it. Shall do it. Yes. Go ahead and ready up. Get these guys going whenever we're ready. Hello, hello. Week in the house. Yeah. Gonna be having a good time today. Good old Chill Bill in the thumbnail. I'd imagine we'll probably see a Chill of Santar from Falcon. We'll see though. But yes. Yeah, we definitely got some good players lined up. So, yeah, quite a few veteran players coming up on the list. We got a nice mix of different people. And should be a good time. Should definitely be a good time. So here, Falcon, starting out as the Sitting King, has two bands. And before I forget, let me go ahead and pop up the scorecard. And looking good there. So far, there's no current king. I totally forgot to change the King of the Hill graphics. We'll still be covering the balance of power. My apologies. Ooh. Alright, alright. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, yes. These guys are just getting their final army picks locked in. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I'm going to be going out of town this Friday, so I'm going to try and get one more stream in this week, potentially Thursday. I don't know 100% if I'll be able to, but regardless, yeah, I'm going to be out of town. I do have videos lined up for you for the week. I'm going to be gone Friday to Wednesday. So during that time, there won't be any streams, but definitely when I get back week after, what is that, like the 2nd? I'll get back on the 1st, which is a Wednesday, so probably the 2nd on the 3rd, that Thursday. Probably do another King of the Hill stream. Hey, Joel coming in with the 20. Big thanks, man. Have fun today. Love the Bob video. Hey, thanks, man. Glad you liked it. That was a fun one for me. Yeah, those games were pretty interesting. Played through quite a few, so. Awesome, man. Enjoying some green later in the night. That sounds like a fantastic evening, I have to say. Well, let's take a look at what we've got here for these builds. Norska versus Dark Elves. And for Norska, we've got Wolfric the Wanderer. Oh, yeah. Heard that pop up there. A little bit late, but there it is. I think, yeah, the notification should be coming on screen there. And we've got, let's see, front line of Marauders. Yep, just regular Marauders. We've got some Javelins as well. Skin Wolves. Beasts of Tashnar up front. This is just a kind of a build, you know, as they say. It's a build. Nothing too crazy there. We've got, on the Dark Elf side, a couple of Dark Riders, like that Light Shock Cavalry option. Pretty cheap, too. 3 Black Guard, 4 Red Spears. I meant, we got 4 Fear Spearheads. And some Dark Riders with crossbows, of course, the Chill, and up on a Manticore, Supreme Sorceress, Lore of Fire. Super solid in this matchup. Both players, yeah, actually, just Falcon going for Lore of Fire. I'm interested not to see Lore of Fire from... Oh, no, please hold. No one drop. Come on. No. What is happening? Everything's all good on my end. Yep, just a little bit of lag. Okay, seems like it's stabilizing. We'll be okay. Yep, there it goes. Okay, we're all good. So yeah, it's interesting not to see the fire damage against Dark Elves. I think Lore of Fire, even though Dark Elves don't necessarily have a lot of stuff that's directly weak to fire besides Hydras, just in general, the magic damage and high, you know, kind of shock value, the high damage values of various Lore of Fire spells, makes them quite good against Dark Elves in general. Here we've got these Hounds getting pretty aggressive. They're going to charge in this front line here. The Dark Riders are in a position to countercharge those, so they're going to have to be careful. We've also got these Spears in a supporting position, but the Dark Rider Lances do charge up and through. You see they get a bit of a catch there. These other ones sweeping around the side. Very nicely done. They're going to get a bunch of free damage on those Norskin Warhounds, and Falcon's also able to mostly avoid taking a bad engagement there, but he does have to be careful not to get countercharged by those Beasts of Tashnar. Very efficient counter skirmish as well with these crossbows going right in to those Marauder Horse Masters. They're going to charge forward and push the Dark Riders back, but of course Dread Spears there to continue to screen. Just absolutely masterful play on both sides here, although it does look like the Dark Riders, oh man, I think King of the Head, honestly, King of the Dead should have committed there all of the Hounds to that engagement. With the Beasts of Tashnar in particular, he could have probably won and done a ton of damage to those Dark Riders right there, but nonetheless they're going to pull away. Just a lot of cat and mouse as the Dark Elf forces kind of advance here. King of the Dead's Hounds once again getting a little bit out of position. They're going to then take the counter charge, so just a lot of back and forth here, and not on very expensive units, but these peripheral units are very important. You know, those various kind of mobile units will be very important for shutting down the skirmish, and considering the Javelins options for King of the Dead here, they're going to obviously be going after the Chill of Sontar. That being said, they're coming pretty far forward now. Might actually get caught by these Dread Spears here. They themselves... Hunters 26-22 are not complete pushovers in melee. They're actually not going to trade terribly with those Dread Spears, but at the same time, they don't want to take that melee engagement, obviously, so pulling back there. And you can see how Falcon's just kind of avoiding taking bad engagements for the most part. I mean, he's taking a little bit of damage on these Dark Riders, but considering the damage done to the Warhounds in return, likewise, the Horse Masters have taken some heat there. Dark Riders with crossbows, they don't necessarily need to use their ammo on something armored, right? Like, you really can use it against anything. Doing a ton of damage to those Marauder Hunters there as they then get chased on by the Blackguard. Very nicely done. The Manticore Lady and the two Dark Riders coming around. The Hounds are going to commit there a little bit. It looks like one of the units, perhaps. But in the meantime, this frontline engagement will be going pretty well in our Dark Elves' favor because of the Blackguard in particular. The Dread Spheres aren't going to do super well against Marauders, but you can see Chill of Sontar maneuvering up and around the side here, avoiding all of these anti-large units. Going to start probably side-shotting some breaths here and rolling up a big terror route. But it looks like both players are going to be using their wind spells on this pocket. Both wind spells and the Chill's Breath as well, just going to absolutely wipe these Marauders here. Yeah, straight up shatters that unit. That unit's pretty much done there, so pretty good stuff. The head even overruns all the way in here and actually does a little bit of damage to these other Marauder units. Wow, that is a great head. Great RNG on that head from Falcon there. Quite lucky, honestly. But still pretty good. Good placement and everything. The Hounds are shattered as well. So with that, I think the loss of mobility here, all these Horse Masters also getting terrified by the Manticore dropping. Using that Murderous Prowess timing push with the Dark Riders, their extra melee attack and weapon damage, with the Manticore support to actually win that engagement. That was very nicely done there. Now the Chill, though, is going to be matched up against Wolfric mano-a-mano. That's maybe not the best. I say mano-a-mano. There's a bunch of nasty wolves here. Thankfully, the Blackguard will come in to try and save the day. Looks like we've got a fireball from up top as well. That will fell maybe a model or two of the Skin Wolves. That's pretty good stuff. The Skin Wolves, though, are pretty isolated with Wolfric. That's basically all that's left of the Norskin forces. So the Blackguard holding out beautifully in the front line, just chopping up what's left of the Marauders there. A Final Transmutation being cast, probably a little bit too late to really make that big of a difference here. It's only going to hit the Supreme Sorceress as well. Honestly, it would have been probably good to try and use that against this big blob of Dark Riders if you could have got that Shaman into range, but yeah. Yeah, King just sort of sitting a little bit passively and letting Falcon kind of dictate the engagements to a degree. And you can see there that Falcon showing off his skill, just not really taking bad engagements, and that's really one of the things that I would say defines Falcon, and just in general, like the really, really top level players, like, you know, the ever-chosen champion level players, like Aerocrastic, like Falcon, like Klaxland Soothsayer. The difference with those guys and most other players is they have good enough micro to almost always avoid taking a bad engagement, what you want to do. And just in general, kind of baiting, you can see that cat and mouse game, cat and mouse, I guess it's more cat and dog, right? The dogs and the Dark Riders chasing each other back and forth, kind of trying to bait each other into that charge with the infantry support. Really, really beautifully done there. So, good stuff. We'll go ahead and get the next competitor lined up. Let's go ahead and just double check. Doesn't look like Namru has returned, so we'll put a pin in that. Yeah, okay. So, next up on the list then is A move, and Red Legion will be on deck after. Here. That was a great game, though, man. Beautiful performance. That burning head, too. That was great RNG. Yeah, that burning head was beautiful. Yes, Aristo. Only you could crash the game. Only you. Yes. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop that in there. We'll go ahead and this. Okay. And we're ready to go. Like A move is on his way, so we got our next competitor lined up. Oh man. Yeah, Chill of Sontar. Honestly, I think the Dark Riders were really what won that one. The Chill did a little bit, helped to roll up some terror routes. But yeah, the Dark Rider play was impeccable there. Using both melee and ranged Dark Riders kind of together, of, you know, being able to zone the hounds very effectively. Like, it was just beautiful. Very nice play. I don't play quick battles a lot. That's mostly because I don't have... It's weird. Like, if I... With my channel, like, and with my day job and some other things, like, because of some other factors, I don't have as much time to go on ladder and get random matches. And the thing is, like, if I get random matches, I can get good matches on ladder pretty consistently, but there's always the chance that I'll get some crazy cheeser and that the replay will be, like, unusable. And also, a lot of times I'll match up against newer players, let's say, who aren't really up to par, and it ends up being over perhaps very quickly, and the replay is not super interesting as a result. Then, you know, because of that, like, I end up burning a lot of time trying to get replays that way. So primarily now I play in custom lobbies mostly with people I know, just so that I know for sure I'm gonna at least get a good replay, as long as, you know, it's not, it still can sometimes be a little one-sided, even between, you know, two players of equal skill. You know, if you're trying experimental builds, or sometimes some matchups are just over very quickly, you know, like if you're both taking rush builds, like, I don't know, like Beastmen versus Greenskins, and you just kind of run into each other and both die really fast, then the game's going to be over quickly kind of regardless. Most Norska games, too, are just kind of quick. They're a fast, hard-hitting faction, right? But anyway, I'm getting way off topic. Anyway, yeah, I primarily play custom matches. I do recommend playing quick battles. I mean, even if you do run into the cheesers, like, it can be good to play against that sometimes, just to figure out, like, how to beat it, get experience, like, you know, getting kited, for example. Getting kited is not super fun, but if you get kited a few times and you get good at it, then, you know, good at countering it. Yeah, I used to post a lot more ladder games, but I don't know. Recently, I just kind of figured out that it's a lot more efficient. And I think when the beta goes live again, I might play some more ladder battles, but especially with the community being split up on the beta and the non-beta patches, like it puts you in a weird place. Hey, Samurai! Doing good, man. How are you doing? Got pretty much everything pre-recorded and uploaded. I just need to record like 1 or 2 more videos, I think. And then I'll have all my stuff set. My vacation, so I'm excited. Alright, let me get the map locked in. Let's do Orgazan. Ooh, looks like we're gonna have dwarfs. Dwarfs versus dark elves. Should be good. Let's see, Iris, did you post it in the Discord by chance? I can look at it. Post it, if you go to the Discord and post it in the build advice, then I can have a look at it. Oh yeah, I've got some grudge match. Oh, that's too bad, Samurai Warrior. That sucks. Back problems are the worst. Feel for you. Yeah, I'm staying in the US. Yep, I'm going up to West Yellowstone, so my family's got some property in the area near West Yellowstone, so we're headed up there. Belcon, just grabbing a cup of tea real quick, no problem. Alright, alright. What is happening? Why is my phone making noise? Anyway. Almond Boris with just the book. Interesting. Sounds pretty interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, against the Wood Elves. Okay. Okay, I see. Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I'd have to see it in action. Trees are a big problem for the Wood Elves. I mean, for vampire counts, obviously. Like, you need specific units to be able to take them out efficiently. But, yeah, it's an interesting matchup for sure. Blood Knights. Yeah, Zephos, if you join I'm in the future. I did it kind of badly this time, but in the future I'll be announcing it on my Discord. So if you look in the channel, if you look in the link in the description, you'll find a link to my Discord where, yeah, that's where the list will be. Yeah, you could sub in some bats. Actually, believe it or not, bats with Dance Macabre actually trade really well into Hawk Riders. Like, you can... I'd have to try. I don't know if I tested this, but... like, in a while... I want to say there was a game where I had one Hawk Rider matched up on 2 bats, and the 2 bats got an Overcast Dance Macabre. Can't remember if they won or not, but I know they traded... I mean, the 2 of them together are cheaper than the Hawk Rider. Right, so like even if they both get killed, if they do like 80% of HP damage, that's still cost effective. I'd have to try it, but I mean, in theory, bats have decent weapon strength. They just have terrible melee attack. So you juice them up with that Dance Macabre, it could be good. I don't know. Hawks are rarely seen in lower levels of play, but in competitive, like in tournament level play, you actually see Hawks quite a bit. They have some decent upside in a few different matchups, vampire counts being one of them. And if you really want to spam heavily into the air and try and win the air fight as the Wood Elves, in a lot of matchups you need the Hawk Riders because they have good AP damage. And the Skirmish... And yes. Hellsteeds can outrun Manticores as long as the Manticores don't get their charge animation. I actually don't think, even with the charge animation, I don't think Manticores are that fast in the air. But let's see. Excuse me. 2 lads are just about connected here. Get my setup adjusted, just grabbing my mic. Hopefully that's not too loud for you guys. Yeah. Yeah, you might want to consider swapping in a few bats. I would say if you are concerned about Hawk Riders, just swapping in a couple bats can be enough. Just to help give you something to screen in the air. And again, Dance Macabre on the bats is quite strong. Let's take a look. This time we'll start with Falcon's Dark Elves. Who's he got? Sorceress Lore of Beasts on horseback, and a whole bunch of infantry. We've got Sisters of Slaughter and Sad Swords. Some Corsairs also. 3 Harpies. And the Chill. Pretty straightforward. As for the Dwarfs here, we've got a Rune Lord, some Slayers, more Slayers, Dragonbacks even. 4 Warriors with great weapons. Got some Thunderers, Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, a couple of Bugman's Rangers, love Bugman's Rangers, super strong. Ulthwar's Raiders, more blasting charges, more Bugmans. A lot of Bugman's Rangers, which are going to be good here. If they get caught by the Sisters of Slaughter, it'll be bad news for them, but in general, their ranged attack is going to be quite strong against a multitude of the Dark Elf units. Sisters of Slaughter are an interesting choice here. They're cheaper than Executioners. They do have pretty good AP damage, but really what makes them good in this matchup is the 44 speed, because they outspeed Dwarfs so heavily. They can actually trade really nicely into Slayers too. Poison means they'll slow Dwarfs down, so it's basically impossible for Dwarf units to escape Sisters of Slaughter once they've been caught. using them to chase down backline units, especially Rangers, who are much squishier. Very effective, so let's see how they get on. Oh, the sad swords. They're so sad. Look at how sad they are. Look at that elf. That sad elf face. So bleak. Oh, what have I done with my life? Why am I here? Fighting these little men with beards. Why? Questioning the decisions. All the sad. And he does look kind of sad, I'm not gonna lie. Sad elves. Can't even see these gals' faces because they got the masks. Pretty cool looking, not gonna lie. They got their little bucklers, which this does actually do something, believe it or not. Alright, let's see how they get on. Immediately, the dwarf's going to be shifting their line straight sideways. And pulling back a bit as well, it looks like. Blasting charges might try and line up. You can see Falcon pulls back his front line just slightly to get out of range of the blasting charges and Rangers and so on, while he swings this flank up and around, sort of rotating the entire force. Well, good stuff. The Harpies getting up nice and close. 4 beasts, Manticore summons, and what is this other one? What is that? Amber Spear. Interesting. Oh, here comes the Amber Spear. Going to be trying to side shot through this Warriors Dragonfire Pass unit. They do try and dodge that. Oh, it still does a really decent amount of damage. Kills almost 20 unit models there. Wow, really nice stuff. 19 kills there. Really decent, all things considered. So the Dark Elves starting to do some skirmishing. They have discovered these Rangers over here on the far side. So Falcon does have to be careful. If he takes blasting charges in the face on these sad swords, that will be pretty bad overall. But you can see here that all the Sisters of Slaughter are maneuvering up and around this side where there are no blasting charges. And actually letting the sad swords face against these miners here. You can see how he's continuously kind of pulling them back. The Corsairs especially, if they can get up and around and into these squishy skirmishers, like the Sisters of Slaughter, will do quite a bit of damage. But Falcon very patiently approaching here. Miners once again coming forward to try and get their blasting charge volleys off, even against the sad swords, will be cost effective. Let's see, they should be within range here. Oh, yep, sad swords are going to take it on the chin. Nope, they pull back at the last second. Still going to take quite a bit of damage there, all things considered, but kind of cycling these two units back and forth. The Chill has been hit with that Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, is getting a ton of missile fire right now, so Falcon needs to get in the back line to start to shut down those skirmishers. The Bugman's Rangers take a nice breath to the face. Kills close to 20 unit models there right off the bat, so pretty good stuff. Meanwhile, over on the far side, you can see the Ekron's Miners actually get caught by 2 units. Falcon, great job, able to pull this unit out of position, get him with the Corsairs and with the Bleak Swords in the back. Very nicely done. Meanwhile, over here, again, Bleak Sword's able to catch these Miners without the Miners getting their charges off. Going to be super important here. Meanwhile, the Harpies just kind of running some disruption for the various units. And here comes the Chill. Those Bugman's Rangers that got breathed on earlier are still a little bit too close. They do have charge defense against large, so they technically won't take charge damage, but I mean, this Chill does enough damage to just straight up win. It is taking all of the throwing axes, though. Absolutely massive damage coming in from the Ulthar's Raiders. They have huge missile damage, and the Chill, if it's not careful, does look like it's going to get some healing procs here, but it is chewing through its healing cap at an alarming rate. Meanwhile, over on the far side, these miners are gone. Other miners, though, follow up with some charges, able to kind of support that engagement there. Sisters of Slaughter have pushed up and around the flank and are starting to saturate in this engagement, start to get at some of these skirmish units. Oh, but the Chill's been routed. That's a bad sign. It will be able to regenerate and come back, though. Dwarfs obviously don't have the tools to chase it off, but Manticore's been summoned up here. It seems like Falcon may have briefly forgotten about it. Hopefully he gets it back online there, but the Sisters of Slaughter, this is This is what needs to happen. The Sisters of Slaughter getting in the back line, saturating in these skirmishers, poisoning them, slowing them down, not allowing them to get their guns and crossbows to bear. But these Dragonback Slayers, with their elite regiment of renowned stats, will follow up. Actually, will trade quite nicely there with the support and everything. So another mark by Ulthar being dropped on that Pharaoh Manticore there to drop his armor and missile parry and missile defense. Another Manticore summon as well being pulled up here, and these Slayers have actually chased the Chill of Sontar all the way over to the side. These Sisters of Slaughter probably want to chase those Slayers and support that engagement. Looks like that's what they're trying to do. Other Manticore coming in the back line here, and slowly but surely this is turning in the Dark Elves' favor as more and more of these ranged units for the Dwarfs get compromised and torn down. But let's get in close as the Manticore drops. Slayers fighting off these Sisters of Slaughter along with the Bugmans, trying to hold the line as best they can here. The Thunderers as well, getting absolutely massacred by, I say absolutely massacred, they're actually, yeah, they are taking quite a bit of damage from that Manticore. Corsairs moving up and around here. Bleak Swords get engaged on Miners. Without the blasting charges, Bleak Swords will actually trade pretty well against Miners just because of the stat differential there. The armor does help to a degree, but I mean, just the fact that the Sad Swords have such better stats, melee attack and defense, obviously. Sisters of Slaughter likewise have taken quite a bit of damage, but still following up, getting on key engagements here. And the balance of power still very close, all things considered. There's still quite a few ranged units over here. These Bugman's Rangers, although they're fighting some Bleak Swords in the back, they're doing okay. We've got Ulthar's Raiders as well, so we'll see. Handful of blasting charges out here. Do a little bit of friendly fire, honestly, but also get some nice damage in on those Bleak Swords. I just don't know. I think there's way too many Sisters of Slaughter in the back line here. Still, Sontar is also super healthy at this point, so... yeah, no. No, Missile Block does not block explosive damage. So, yep. Chill comes in to help beat up these Dwarf Warriors. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Yeah, you can see the balance power starts to take a little bit of a turn there as the Sisters of Slaughter clean up various units, start to shatter quite a few units. Don't know what happened to the Dwarf Lord either. It looks like the Rune Lord's still chilling in this pack of Sisters, but yeah. A-Move going to give up the fight there, and that will be a victory for Falcon, so he goes up to 2. Chill Bill holding his hill. Who will do him ill? I'm sorry, I'm done now. Okay. Next map. Let's go for Mouth of the Pass. And next on deck, we've got, let's see here. Red Legion, and then it looks like Seal Club had to drop, so we're going to go straight to Rubber Duck. Let's see. Go ahead and get this here. All right. Okay, getting that done. And give me just a second, guys. I gotta go grab a drink of water. I'll be right back. Oh geez, my mic was unmuted that entire time. That's good. Hopefully you guys didn't hear any of that. Thought I muted my mic, but you all heard my squeaky chair and everything else, so apologies. Thankfully, my mic is pretty good at picking up directional sound, so I don't think you heard too much of that background noise, but... What am I eating? Just a quick little, like a protein bar, just to keep my blood sugar up, so I don't get too tired. So Iris, there's you can do it one of two ways. When you're the sitting king, you can either continue to play the same faction and you get no bans, or you can switch factions, right? You can choose to not choose the same faction twice, and you get double bans, right? So kind of have a choice. Velcon usually likes to stick with one faction and kind of try out a particular unit or a particular style of build or whatever and kind of workshop it in that way. And so for that, he doesn't get any bans. But like, for example, most people will come in and will say, okay, can't pick the same faction twice. Instead, like, because, like, let's say if you main Bretonia has quite a few hard counters, so it would be hard to play them. I mean, it'd be hard to play them, like, Bretonia, no bans. I think Aerocrastic did that last time, but yeah. Why were there screams in the background? Oh, you know, just normal things. It's just the witch hunters hunting down heretics in my neighborhood. Anyway, sorry, just getting distracted by something over here. Let's have a look at these builds. It is medieval 2. In fact, it is Med 2 music. You are correct, sir. Okay, so let's have a look here. We've got some Dread Spears, Black Ark Corsairs. Looks like Chill of Sontar. Once again, Lore of Fire, Manticore up in the air. We've got 3 Cold One Knights this time, and 3 Dark Riders with crossbows, 1 with spear and shield. Up against the Empire, from Red Legion here, we've got Karl Franz, Royal Altdorf Graphites, and a Jade Wizard, plus a Steam Tank, so a lot of expensive targets to heal. Got a couple of Empire Knights as well, some supporting State Troop Spearmen, Flagellants. Interesting choice. Flagellants are decent here. They're pretty decent in this matchup. I don't completely love them, but Sigmar Sun's obviously going to do quite well. Empire Knights, if they get good engagements, will trade okay. But I'm a little bit concerned about taking out this Chill of Sontar. I mean, he does have Franz and the Royal Altdorf Graphites who can do it. But at the same time, there's all of these Cold One Knights will outclass the Empire Knights, and I don't know. The Demigryph Knights might have a hard time getting a good engagement. There's also all these AP missiles, which don't really have any counter. Like, I mean, I guess the Steam Tank can try and shoot them, but I don't know. Maybe the Steam Tank could try to shoot the Cold One Knights as well. In fact, actually, that's probably what I would do with it, primarily. I guess you could try and shoot the Manticore Lady as well. She's a decently sized target, doesn't have any way of self-healing, so you can do quite a bit of damage to her. But with the Cold One Knights, you can drop their stopping power, right? Like you can when you kill models, it reduces the unit's killing power, the actual unit of cavalry. So as a result, usually it's more I don't know, profitable, more worthwhile to shoot your cannons at the cavalry units. Even though the steam tank does have really good single target damage, much better than just your regular great cannon. But looks like they did pick some models there, a couple models. Like 4 models off those Cold One Knights. But the issue is, can you guess this issue? There's a severe issue with this build, and it is a Dov-specific issue, but it's a legit criticism in this matchup. Can you see it? Can you see a particular lack of something? Anyone? Anyone? It is a Stevie boy. We have a distinct lack of Pistoliers here. And Pistoliers would have been really good against this build, right? Pistoliers help counter skirmish. The repeater crossbows, Pistoliers are also really good against Hydras, because Hydras don't have that much armor. Pistoliers can get a ridiculous amount of damage, especially when juiced up with Lore of Fire. Right now, Franz has popped all of his stuff, but he's not charging down. And it looks like now he charges down, gets a couple of hits in there. He's got all of his juice buffs going, and likewise these Spearmen are super juiced up as well. Somehow they aren't doing that much damage to the Dread Spears, though. Not really sure how, but the Royal Griffites rush in. They've got the Reichland Runefang active, but the counter rush from all of these Cold One Knights also going to be very, very painful. So Royal Griffites definitely need to disengage along with Karl, get them back, get them out of here. The Royal Griffites already, Earthblood, not going to save them too much. They have dropped like 10 unit models already. That is absolutely disastrous on that counter charge, and the Chill of Sontar survives that gooning attempt too. So definitely staying way too long with those Royal Griffites, and now he's even going to get punished with a Burning Head, doing even more damage there. That also catches a whole bunch and basically finishes off those Spearmen, catches some Empire Knights too. Likewise, Karl overstaying his welcome a little bit there, but the Dark Riders with the repeater crossbows, this is what I mean. They have there's no response for them here. And that has ended up being a big problem, though Karl is going to be able to get back up in the air. And likewise, the Dread Spears are pretty well surrounded by Empire troops at this point. There's Flagellants and Empire Knights and Spearmen on both sides, but the Terror route does kick in, and it looks like, unfortunately, those Empire Knights do route away there. Yeah, not great. Definitely not great. Meanwhile, over on the far side, Flagellants are losing straight up to Blackheart Corsairs, and not even very cost-effectively at that. Blackheart Corsairs definitely winning that engagement. Royal Griffites come back around for another cycle charge. They're going to get in, do some pretty good damage, but Cascading Fire Cloak very well placed on those Cold One Knights that they charge into, so they take very little damage. But oh man, Manticore Lady's in trouble. She takes a hit from Karl. Now going to be recharging those Empire Spearmen. Oh no, Karl, what are you doing? Karl, you should have stayed on her. Karl, no. No. Karl instead rushes over to this Chill of Sontar here, and he's fighting without support. Probably could have maybe save those Empire Spearmen from getting terrified. It's hard to say. Still a lot of forces fighting over here. The fact that Franz and the Steam Tank are still so healthy is what's holding the balance of power at this point, but there's still so much ammo here from these Dark Riders being able to focus fire on Franz and the Steam Tank both. They should be able to take them out pretty efficiently. And ultimately, again, from a build perspective, I mean, I'm memeing a little bit about the Pistoliers, but I'm also not memeing about the Pistoliers. Like, legitimately, I think you need them in this matchup to counter skirmish Dark Riders. And likewise, I mean, they're really good against Hydras. They'd even be good against this Manticore Lady too. She's got 80 armor, which is okay. But enough focus fire from Pistoliers would be able to do a decent amount of damage to her. So, yeah. Distinct lack of Pistoliers. Lack of great swords. You know, Aristo, actually, great swords can be okay in this matchup if you protect them from Dark Riders. Believe it or not, I've seen builds with like Volkmar with buffing up 2 great swords that have worked quite well in the past. But unfortunately here, wasn't quite enough. I also think, again, Volkmar, like, Karl is good, but I legit think Volkmar is better in this matchup. Volkmar just counters, like, he counters like a portion, like a good 30 to 40% or more of the Dark Elves roster, like just hard counters, right? And good units too. Like, you straight up can't take Doomfire Warlocks in this matchup purely because of Volkmar. Like, he will just destroy them. Absolutely destroy them, which is very thematic, I feel. Steam Tank goes down there. And that's it. Belcon gets the win. Cool, cool. So we'll juice up his score. One more. Chill coming through. GG indeed. You can't take Warlocks because of Great Swords. Oh, yeah. Yeah, everyone knows Great Swords hard counter Warlocks, totally. Let's go Harriet Ridge, and let's get the next competitor in. Got Rubber Duck of War. And next on deck after Rubber Duck is going to be Rider of Rohan. Who put a couple more, who gave me a couple more emojis that I totally forgot to implement for today, because I am an absolute potato. But I'll go ahead and save these. More music going here. All right. Alright, alright. I'm gonna put those on Discord. And, yeah, I don't think I can change it while I'm streaming. I guess I could look. Let's see here. Let's get that here in a new tab. Hey, what's up, Jared? Now, let's come in here and go to settings. Nope. I don't even know where I go to change my emojis. This new YouTube studio I'm not a fan of, have to say. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to see where I would even go. But, you know, the new YouTube dashboard is very, very easy to use in every way. Nothing wrong with it at all. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later. I guess I don't know how to change that. That seems a little bit strange. Don't know where they've hidden it in the new thing, but how to manage my member stuff? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, the new streaming interface, honestly, most of the new YouTube stuff is just not great. It's just really not great, if I'm being honest. Yeah, just kind of like puzzling through everything here is not the best. But we'll go ahead and ready up here so these guys can start when they're ready. And in the meanwhile... yeah, there's just like no... What is it, in monetization? Oh, of course, it's in monetization, because that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a few of these. Okay. This here, just getting a few new things. Okay. And let's see here. So I think we're gonna do this this emoji here. And let's go ahead and change this one. And alright, I found it. We'll be done shortly. Just want to get this taken care of before I forget to, because I will absolutely forget to. And then let's do this one. Okay, let's go ahead and save and publish that. So, okay, badges. What's wrong? Oh, that's fine. Cool. So the emojis have been changed. Let's actually refresh this and see if they update. Anyway, meanwhile, getting back to the builds here. What's actually happening on screen? Anyway, here it is. We've got Chill plus another War Hydra. Looks like Dreadlord Nilosi. Could it be? It is Nilosi on a cold one. Nice armor-piercing character. Decent stats all around for how cheap she is. She also has this little AoE melee attack buff. She's got a Master with also AoE melee attack and armor buff with physical resistance as well. Sorceress, Lore Beast from Manticore summons. Yeah. Besides the infantry, got a whole bunch of Dark Riders, some Cold One Knights, Dark Riders with crossbows, as to be expected. On the Wood Elf's side, Dorthu going to be leading the way. We've got Shields, Eternal Guard, War Dancers with Azrai Spears, a Branch Wraith, two Wild Riders, Sisters of Thorn, and 3 Hagbane Tips. Good stuff. Dorthu versus 2 Hydras. See who comes out on top. I'm guessing also that this hero squad will make a pretty big difference. Obviously, the Master has anti-large AP. So, not that much AP damage, but he does have some solid anti-large, so... See who comes out on top. And now the emojis, did they update? Yes, so now we have pistol emojis. Courtesy of Ryder Rohan. If you guys want to become a channel member, you can get access to those. And we've also got Big Bird laughing. So big thanks to Ryder Rohan. I have one more as well if we can unlock another one. I had to make another one that's actually a chest of coins because, you know, Dov pays. So if any of you guys feel so inclined, you want to help me unlock more emoji slots, feel free to hit that join button, become a member. But regardless, let's go ahead and look and see both players kind of sizing each other up here. The Hagbane Tips could come forward and try and counter-skirmish the Hydras a bit, but I don't know. The Hydras might just end up eating all of their ammo, so it could be not the best, but we'll see. Dorthu sticking to the forest here, trying to regenerate his Winds of Magic. Does he actually have that effect? He does. As does the Branch... Oh, the Branch Wraith does not actually. Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh yeah, Optimus Prime. Yeah, the thing at the top. Yeah, it's a little too big. I'm gonna remake it in the next couple days, or when I get back, and it will be resized a little bit. She kind of changed around. But anyway, fire breath from the Hydra doesn't make the best contact, but it does kill a few models on 2 units. Probably like 6 to 7 models on 2 units there, so that's pretty good. But these Dark Riders, or these Wild Riders, sorry, have to be careful. They might get actually caught by these Dark Riders here. Dark Riders do get poisoned a little bit, but oh man, that's a really bad engagement for those Wild Riders if they're not able to escape. Could be potential for disaster. But let's see, Sisters of Thorn also moving up here. They're going to be doing some more counter-skirmishing. Probably coming over to drop that, what is that? The Curse of Onraer? Oh man, oh, that Ice Breath. Shooting in, doing quite a bit of damage, and now here comes the Hydra as well. The Wild Riders need to pull out of that engagement. I mean, if they were able to get a charge on the Hydra, they could probably do some good damage to him out in the open field. But in a situation like this, definitely not something that they want to take. The Eternal Guards come in. They're going to start to do a little bit of poke, but the Eternal Guards don't have a whole lot of weapon strength. One of their main downsides. Durthu comes forward, though, starts to whack at the Dread Spears here, and Nilosi and the Master are probably going to come around and try and get a rear charge on Durthu if they can, I would imagine. Blade Riders getting some good counter-skirmish in here, and as Azrai Spears rush in, looks like they're going to go directly after the Chill there. Very nice engagement for them. They should be able to... Oh, no, they were going after the Cold One Knights there. Oh, damn, man, that's a little bit of a mistake there. Definitely want to fight the Chill if they can. But Manticore Summon coming up for both sides, of course. Such is the way of things. Shield of Thorns here for the Wood Elves, giving them some physical resistance. It looks like they were actually able to pretty decisively beat those Dread Spears. And now, oh man, Nilosi's in trouble. Is this the end? Nilosi all of a sudden gets caught in between Durthu and the Manticore here. We've also got the Chill helping to support, but all of the Azrai Spears and Eternal Guards here are also supporting for the Wood Elves, so the infantry support definitely in their favor. Dark Riders rushing in, trying to get some extra bodies in here. Looks like the Master is able to disengage there, but Nilosi took an absolute pounding there, and likewise the Chill of Sontar also in a very, very bad position. All of these spears here. Definitely want to get some sword support over there if they can. Those sad swords, definitely feeling pretty sad. That being said, Wild Riders here eating a charge from those Cold One Knights, definitely not good, and the Sisters of Thorn as well. They need to pull out that engagement. Some nice cycle charge here. Falcon able to disengage most of his important units from those spears and from Durthu and able to kind of get them away. Meanwhile, this Feral Manticore coming after Nilosi probably should drop a quick rear charge on those Dread Spears to try and swing that fight, since the summon is just about able to run out anyway. But Falcon does a great job kind of resecuring his forces, getting back over here and taking out these Wild Riders, high-value targets, the Sisters of Thorn as well. Yeah, Curse of Onraer has been used, but it hasn't hit all of those targets. Keep in mind, though, all of this time that these Glade Riders are free to fire here and just getting consistent DPS against the Hydras there. Might end up mattering quite a bit in the late game, and against even like the Dark Riders as well, and whatever other targets they can find. Durthu's relatively secure. There's only a little bit of armor-piercing ammo. And yeah, Nilosi managed to weather the storm of the Manticore there. So here comes Durthu, coming to support against these Dread Spears. Trying to get a quick Terror Route if he can. Doesn't look like it's actually proc to Terror Route, unfortunately. Oh no, he's going after this Beast Caster. Okay, that makes more sense. That's definitely not a good situation for her. And the Glade Riders over here taking out one of the main threats to Durthu, which is these Dark Riders, right? So a really nice play on both sides. I have to say, Rubber Duck playing absolutely out of his mind right now. Has still got caught out in a few bad engagements, but has been able to force a few really nice engagements as well. You can see the Glade Riders maneuvering up and around. I think they're actually going to go after these Dark Riders in melee. The Dark Riders do have a Murderous Prowess active, so they could have potentially countercharged in there, but very nicely done screening with these Cold One Knights there. They're going to now eat these Glade Riders. Man, the Glade Riders, yeah, definitely want to pull away from that engagement. Nilosi's taking a few shots from those Hagbane tips as well, so I wonder if Rubber Duck's going to try and finish off Nilosi with these Glade Riders. The Glade Riders can just shoot at whatever here, honestly. Even the Cold One Knights would be a good target to shoot at, just because they don't have a whole lot of HP in general. But here, the War Dancers, oh man, these War Dancers have been absolutely clutch. 40 kills, 2 XP chevrons, been absolutely doing work against a lot of high-value targets. So this is not good, though. Taking a charge from these relatively cheap Dark Riders with their good charge bonus. And it looks like another Manticore being used on the Wood Elf side, trying to help support Durthu in this final engagement against these two. And also Sword of Daith as well, sundering the armor. That'll be nice. Brings the Chill of Sontar down to only 60 armor, and the War Hydra too. The Manticore can get a little bit of extra damage in there, and Nolosi's taking consistent shots from those Glade Riders. She is under pressure, and her leadership is going to give out pretty soon, but it looks like the Beastcaster was able to recover. Going to get a second Manticore summon from the Dark Elf side here now, but will the regular Hydras be able to hold their leadership? That is the question. These War Dancers, again, taking another charge, but a really nice Flock of Doom as well, doing a little bit of DPS to all those units in that area. These Glade Riders are just about out of ammo, but holding for the time being, and you can see Falcon's kind of cycling his Hydras in and out one after the other, so they can continue to get that regeneration. But that was a little bit of a risky drop for the Manticore there. He does get on Durthu, but at the same time, he's kind of in between these various targets. Doesn't look like Durthu's actually attacking the Manticore, though. Still has an attack order to go after the Hydras, so not sure about that. This is kind of the final pitched engagement here. Wood Elves making their final stand. It's not looking great, but if they can break these Hydra's leadership and weather the Manticore summon, I actually think that Rubber Duck has a really good chance of taking home this engagement. He's pulling away these Dark Riders, screening out the Glade Riders, rather, trying to chase off that Hydra. Excuse me. Somehow Nilosi is still holding her leadership together with about 300 hit points left, 350 hit points, give or take, and oh man, the Hydra is able to recover its leadership. That's absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Looks like we're going to have another Hydra Breath as well. This could be absolutely the game breaker here. Oh, but it mostly misses. Not able to really make consistent contact there on that unit. So, I don't know, though. The Dark Elves are starting to recover quite a bit. They've recovered these Dark Riders. Nilosi's gone. Nilosi is gone, so if she's chased off the battlefield, that will lead to a pretty big leadership issue, and not to mention this Summon Manticore also just got resect, so yeah, it immediately falls out of the sky there. So chase Nilosi off, or even better, if you can kill her with these Dark Riders here, that could potentially be it. She will maybe not take any damage here, it's hard to say. Swords are going to come support. If she takes even like 1 or 2 hits, though, that's going to be it for her leadership. Yeah, she goes down there. More Dark Riders rear charging in. Man, Nilosi just holding like an absolute champ, though, down below 200 hit points, but she still holds her leadership. Wow, very, very impressive. Meanwhile, over here, some more Wood Elf units being cleaned up, and I think this is going to start to turn against the Wood Elves because of all these Dark Riders, mostly. The melee Dark Riders still being alive in the late game here. Absolutely clutch. Nilosi also managing to hold the line. Wow. That was... Whew, that was absolutely incredible. A beautiful game. Absolutely beautiful game. Those War Dancers, man. 3 XP chevrons, 49 kills. They were able to support key engagements at a good time. And War Dancers are often a unit that kind of gets a bad rap. I mean, they're a relatively squishy, expensive spear unit. And they often can just eat charges and die. But here, they definitely proved their worth, using their speed to support various engagements. Here comes Durthu. Durthu will still be a bit of a challenge, but I mean, the Master with his anti-large AP plus the 2 Hydras, I think, should be enough to finish off Durthu by himself. You can see the rest of these Cold One Knights and Dread Spheres following up here, so Falcon very patiently trying to collect all of his forces here, understanding that if he messes up the engagement, potentially, then he could face some problems, but... I almost wonder... Keep these Cold One Knights maneuvering in the back, and oh man, last Ice Breath there from the Chill. Will it actually shatter those War Dancers? There's 2 War Dancers there. Oh man. They're still fighting. They will shatter shortly, though. And we still got these Glade Riders over here. Milkos Mystifying Miasma to slow down the Chill of Sontar, and the 2... the 2 War Dancers are actually fast enough to catch, but here comes Durthu. Now comes the big multi-charge from all directions, as we expected. Oh man, Durthu actually gets knocked over by the Hydra on the charge animation there, and that is going to be an absolute disaster. He stands up very slowly, but at the same time, he's now fully surrounded by armor-piercing and anti-large units, and it's just a bad day. So, a valiant effort from Rubber Duck, but it will be a victory for the Chill. Once again, Chill Bill holding his hill. Yeah. Maybe. Durthu's holding. Durthu's holding like a champ, but that was a really, really good game. Nice back and forth. Very, very good. Credit to Rubber Duck, man. Yeah, the War Dancers and Wild Riders not fighting together as they should have. True. The War Dancers were supporting the other engagement, which they ended up trading very cost effectively, but I do agree losing out on the Wild Riders, I think ultimately is what cost him the game. If he was able to even keep like one unit of Wild Riders alive for the late game there, when Rubber Duck was in that situation, facing all of those Dark Riders and kind of that cleanup situation, if he had even just one unit of the Dark Riders left at that point, he definitely could have swung things back. But you know, just honestly great play on both sides. The Cold One Knights ended up being a really, really nice touch. Dark Riders cleaning up lots of units in the late game. Both Hydras did a great job. Nolosi kind of got crumped on there pretty hard by Durthu, who himself got 77 kills. We don't get to see any of the Manticores, unfortunately. But yeah, 70 kills on Eternal Guard, not too bad. 49, 3 XP chevrons, 28, 2 here. I think they maybe started with 1. These guys look like they maybe started with 1 as well. Hard to tell sometimes, but great game. Great game. So that was a good one. That was a good one. So let's go ahead and roll it up. Next up, Rider of Rohan. I'll go ahead and PM you the password. And then let's go ahead and get this here. Next up, after Rider of Rohan, we'll have Hank. Let me go ahead and get him here. That was good, Rubber Duck. That was good. That was a valiant effort, man. Durthu almost had it. Durthu almost had it. Don't mind me. Just crackling stuff in the background. Dropped a link there. Turin just announced his ECL. Next ECL qualifier. So for those of you interested in some more competitive play, definitely go check that out. Let's switch up the map. And already up here. We'll do it. All right. Yeah, Rubber Duck, yeah. What I had mentioned there was, like, if you had just been able to conserve even one of your units of Wild Riders to help, to help screen out for the Glade Riders, so then they could maybe chase off. Yeah. It was a good effort, though, for sure. It was a good effort. Okay. Sorry, just getting distracted by some other things again. People are talking to me. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm going to get my HP and leadership video done in time. Some stuff kind of came up for my day job. And so, I mean, I also wanted to get some more streams in for you guys before I left, so I decided to kind of prioritize that over getting that video done. That video should be done soon. I know I keep saying that, but I legit, like, on this vacation, I'm also going to be working on scripts quite a bit. So, yeah. Burns ECO, that's with the challenge link. That's how you sign up for it. And the ECL is going to be this Saturday. The Eternal Challenger League qualifier. Oh yeah, it's going to be a great time. Those ECLs are always wild, always produce a ton of great replays. Should be good. Yeah, I'm planning on also doing my own tournament series in July. I just haven't really had time recently with everything going on to really plan it and execute it, but got potential sponsor lined up. I'm going to try and get some more sponsors lined up, I think. So I really want to do like a full-on league. I've had a few ideas for a while. This next one's just going to be almost like the ECL, basically, where we do play-in tournaments, qualifier spots. I probably will only have 4 qualifier spots, though, rather than 8. Just because I don't... For the grand final, if it stretches over 2 days and it's just, yeah, it can get to be too much. Although maybe it would be beneficial to do it that way, but also then the season can just be 5 weeks and then be over. So I think that's what I'll do probably for the next South Sea Mercenary League. We're going to do official season 2 starting in July. I don't know exactly when, but stay tuned for announcements. Right now, my patron, Tamanton, is one of the sponsors. I'm going to see, I don't have any, like, company sponsors lined up yet, but if I can get some, I would love to. And yes, here we are. Here we are. Dark Elf build, we'll start with that once again. Chill, obviously. We've got a, what is that, Cold One Chariot? Very nice. A Supreme Sorceress, Lore of Shadow, Bleak Swords, Dread Spears, Black Ark Corsairs, Dark Riders, Cold One Knights. Wow. Another heavy cavalry build. I like this quite a bit. Big fan. The mix of light and heavy and ranged cavalry, all together with supporting infantry, quite strong. Meanwhile, for Rider Rohan, he's gone with a definitely more infantry-centric composition. A bunch of spearmen. He's got some archers, Talons of Torquelada even, and some Lothern Sea Guard. Yeah, just all the spears and bows, basically. As for leadership, he's got Prince, a Light Mage, and a Metal Mage. Interesting. Looks like going to be Plague of Rust there, Nets, and Light of Battle. Interesting to make units unbreakable. I don't think I've seen that in years, but it's actually a pretty good spell, believe it or not. We've also got a Prince on foot. Interesting. Yeah, all these elf characters are on foot, so a full infantry force. And yeah, Light of Battle is pretty underrated in my opinion. It actually has a large area of effect. 40 meters is a pretty large area of effect. 200 meter cast range. It's only 7 winds of magic. And for 22 seconds, you can make a unit unbreakable. This Light of Battle spell, in my opinion, is super, super underrated. Like, you really don't see it hardly ever, but in certain matchups especially, and with certain units, it can be very, very good. Like, if you're playing Empire and you have a lot of, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a low leadership unit. Like, even Demigryph Knights, for example, if they're trying to fight something that's big and scary and you think they might get terrified, or you just need them to hold a little bit longer, you know, to maybe protect some ranged units. Yeah, if Bretonnia had access to this, it would be really good for them, because you don't have any unbreakable troops that you can bring baseline as Bretonnia. But it's also pretty good for the High Elves, and it's also really good for Lizardmen as well, the Skinks in particular, you know, and other low leadership units. You can keep them fighting with that light of battle. Yeah, absolutely. Creepy videos. If you wanted to drop a few $100, that would be a massive help. If you want to, shoot me a PM on Discord, or if you just want to send it in through PayPal, there's a link in the description for some tips, link to Streamlabs, where you can donate, and that if you tell me explicitly that that money is for prize money, then I will set it aside and save it for that. So yeah, and if you want your business specifically, name and everything like that, you can shoot me an email, dovplays@gmail.com. We can discuss things. Absolutely, I'd be happy to have you on. More the merrier, for sure. Oh man, back line looks like we're gonna have a Penumbral Pendulum, but nicely dodged, very nicely dodged by Rider of Rohan, able to, for the most part, not take that damage there. He is kind of forming up with his spears. He probably needs to form these guys to the side and just go full box formation here, because they will get some charge damage in the side and rear there, but Coldwell Knights charging in the front. Oh man, they don't even do much damage there to those spearmen, but yeah, you can see now these cavalry charging in the side are going to do a lot of damage. Charge from the back, immediately pull away, follow up with the Black Ark Corsairs there, nicely done. And it does look like the Cold One Chariots were able to punch through and eventually get back and start disrupting this back line. That being said, Red Spear's taking a lot of damage, and ooh, a nice net as well on those Cold One Chariots. There aren't a lot of fast units, unfortunately, to follow up very quickly, but yeah, this massive cavalry very quickly going to get back here and get this archer line compromised. It's a little bit of a tough situation there, but let's see if there's a potential light of battle to hold people in place. Looks like over here, actually, it's going to be cast. Light of battle, so all of these units are now unbreakable. Looks like, unfortunately, a tiny bit too late to save those Lothern Sea Guard. But these spearmen in particular right here will hold for quite a long time. And look at that, Chill of Sontar took a ton of damage right there. As these cavalry come back and start to saturate in on the archers can kind of pull back and get towards some spear support here. But yeah, these Lothern Sea Guard, oh man, turn and fire immediately at those archers. The archers continuously trying to screen here. Silver and Guard's going to be tough cookies to take out over time, but nice Penumbral Pendulum there. Does some pretty good damage to the spearmen out on the flanks and some of these other, like, Lothern Sea Guards and stuff. You can see the Dark Riders are starting to run out of steam pretty quickly. They really don't have a lot of HP, and that leadership not going to be great as well. But here comes the Murderous Prowess popping off. Net on Chill of Sontar to hold him in place, hold him back, while the rest of these cavalry punch through and try and get at this pocket here. These spearmen definitely want to fall into this and support there. And just let the archers and Lothern Sea Guard kind of deal with the Dark Riders as it is. Yep, here they come to try and support. And the Prince as well on foot is fighting here. Good old Gilgallion. So we had Nilosi in the last battle and now Gilgallion in this battle. How about that? Generic elf melee lords for the win. Looks like Overcast Plague of Rust was that there? Or some kind of Lore of Beast spell? Yeah, no, regular Plague of Rust on the Cold Knights, bringing them down to 60 armor. Definitely nicely done. The Silvern Guards will trade very well there. But, oh man, brutality. Look at that breath attack, side-shotting through. Chill of Sontar, absolutely wrecking that unit of spearmen. The archers, I'm impressed how well the archers have managed to stay online here, all things considered. But the Mount's power is starting to tell ever so slightly Belcon's favor as a lot of these spear units are getting cleaned up. But, oh man, I wonder if Gilgallion, believe it or not, here comes another Light of Battle. Will it get cast in time? Nice. Does get on those Silvern Guard there. Gilgallion should charge in and go after that Hydra. I mean, I think he has good enough AP damage, to just good enough damage in general, to actually get some good hits on the Hydra. So, being on foot, he shouldn't get hit too hard. He'll mostly just get knocked around, hopefully at least. But, yeah, things are not looking great. The cavalry press is incoming at this point. These Dark Riders with repeater crossbows also have been largely forgotten about this entire time. Not that he really needed them. But, oh yeah, that's painful, man. The net drops. it goes off, and then, yeah, it's still technically online. Interesting, even though the mage is shattered there. But Spearmen, Silver Guards holding out as best they can. Flag of Rust there for the light mage. And I think even like one unit of Silver Helms would have gone a long way to helping stop up some of this mass. Like even just stopping the chariot by itself, and then you box up with the rest of your units. The cavalry aren't going to be able to punch through very effectively, even though the Chill might be able to. But work with Minecraft. Oh man, no shame in that. I mean, Minecraft is an incredibly successful game, so that's awesome. I think that's like no shame in that. I mean, I know there's a lot of memes about Minecraft. It is a kid's game to a degree, but like I'll say this, me personally, I played with Legos a lot when I was a kid, and like Minecraft I just see as like 3D, like it's like a 3D Lego game, like you just build stuff. So yeah, no shame in that at all. That's actually awesome, but yeah, it can make a difference on the final battle. It might honestly be more worth it to just overcast Foz protection instead to get armor and melee defense. You don't take damage in the first place, but I don't completely hate the use of the light of battle there to help the spearmen kind of continue to hold the line in certain cases. Yeah, interesting. It's not that all infantry thing is pretty decent, but it can be very risky as well. Oh, looks like Curran had to post a different link for the ECL. That one might not have been working, but anyway, go ahead and get this going here. Get tank. And after tank, got, let's see here. We've got Happy Puppy. And then I might see about getting, since we had a couple people drop. We had what, Namru dropped and Steel Clubber dropped, so I'll see about getting a couple of reserves in here. Yeah, I actually like the use of that light of battle. I mean, for how cheap it is and how large the area of effect is and how long it lasts, I actually think that spell might be cost effective. I don't know. I don't necessarily agree, Optimus Pine. I think there's definitely a place for it, because when your unit's low enough on HP, like, there's really nothing you can do to keep them fighting besides make them unbreakable. And the fact that it's so cheap and has such a large area of effect, and it lasts 22 seconds, mind you, as well. I mean, the Lord of Light passive is good, but it only lasts for, like, what, 11 seconds, I want to say? So, yeah. Yes, so I'm going out of town on Friday, and then I'll be back Wednesday. So I won't be gone for too long, but then we're probably going to start up. I'll make an announcement. Likely, we'll start up like the weekend of the 11th and 12th for the South Sea Mercenary League Season 2, is what I'm thinking. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll run, like, the 11th to like August 8th, probably. Like those 5 weeks in a row. Yeah, it's true, Ryder Rohan. He was able to kind of single her out there. But even still, you had a couple of pretty good casts of it that were able to hold some units in the line. But okay, let's go ahead and get to the next one. Let's go for Eshin. Alright, looks like they're ready. Just in time. Alright. Go ahead and get this lined up here. Looks like Happy Puppy actually might be co-casting Attorney right now, so I don't know if she'll be able to join, but so yeah, let's go ahead and get let me see here. Give me just a second. Who else did we have there? And probably 2 or potentially 3, but probably 2. Like I missed a phone call. That's fine. And these guys are off. Whoa, haven't even taken a look at the builds yet. Anyway, okay, let's have a look here. We've got Scourge Runner Chariots up front. We've got some Dark Riders, the Peter Crossbows chill once again. Malekith this time with the Master. Cold One Knights on the High Elf side. We've got a Noble. Silver Helms, lots of Reaver Archers. We've got Larry L. Oh, no, a Death Archmage on an Eagle? What? What? Okay. She's got Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna, or no, Spirit Leech and Aspect of Dread Knight and Doom and Darkness. Okay, that's something I've never seen before, but we've got Fireborn here, we've got a Noble, more Dragon Princes, some Illyrian Reavers, so it looks like, yeah, Tank actually going for a Leadership Bomb build here with an Eagle Archmage. I've never seen this before. I'm very interested to see how it does. Got the Spirit Leech on those Cold One Knights as well. Going to be picking away a few unimodels there. Very efficient use of Spirit Leech. Meanwhile, the Reaver Archers just kind of picking away from all angles. But these Reaver Archers need to be careful they don't get too close to the Repeater Crossbows. Those Repeater Crossbows will do a lot of damage in return at close range. The Reaver Archers need to make sure they take advantage of their range and try and stay outside. But oh, this is dangerous. Oh man, these Scourge Runner Chariots probably going to get caught here by these Dragon Princes. Perhaps? Nope. Looks like they're going to nope out of that. Silver Helms, again, trying to draw these Cold One Knights out of position. So both players, again, with this cat and mouse of these ranged units trying to fight each other. And this is a full-on Elftonia here from the High Elves. which is just beautiful. Yeah, only 400 unit models to start with, but very interesting. Anyway, okay. We're going to have another Spirit Leech here on these Cold One Knights. It's going to be a bit of a drawn-out elf skirmish fight, which is pretty good for the High Elves. I don't know if that's necessarily going to favor the Dark Elves here, although they do have the Scourge Runner Chariots, so perhaps it will, because they honestly have the Scourge Runner Chariots shooting, whereas the High Elves really just have these Illyrian Reavers, but we'll see. See if the Scourge Runner Chariots overextend at any point. The Dark Riders have taken a lot of damage without using up much of their ammo, but this Noble, without any healing, the Scourge Runner Chariots are doing a lot of really cost-effective damage there. So yeah, these guys are continuing to pull away here. These Dragon Princes all of a sudden, though, might get kind of cornered away from the rest of the army, but they do charge in, get a nice melee engagement, beautiful counter charge there, absolutely wrecking some of those Scourge Runner Chariots. I'm surprised the... Oh, nice chill with the Fireborn as well, charging in. They'll get an engagement on the Chill of Sontar, but likewise they're going to be getting on those Dark Riders. Looks like we have a Soul Stealer as well, going to get dropped. That'll do a lot of damage to all of the Dragon Princes there. Very nicely done by Malekith. More Spirit Leech, though, on those Cold One Knights. The Silver Helms and Dragon Princes over here have taken quite a bit of damage as well, so things definitely looking pretty good for Falcon at the moment, but he might end up losing these these Scourge Runner Chariots. All of this infantry is way out of position to support here. So will the Elf Tonia actually be enough? I don't see, yeah. Looks like the Eagle Lady's going to come back here and go after these Dark Riders. The Peter Crossbows, keep them from firing. Definitely a strong play there. The Scourge Runner Chariot's going to try and disengage. And look at that, man. The Fireborn ended up getting absolutely crumped there by that Soul Stealer and by the other effects there. And they really didn't do a lot of damage in return. So that was actually a pretty bad engagement for Tank, all things considered. He's a little bit blobbed up here right now as well. Malekith is all flying solo, but there's really not a lot to challenge him. So, I don't know. I think Tank just sacrificing those Fireborn into that Soul Stealer there, I don't know if he can come back from that. I mean, the balance power is still relatively even. He does have another Noble Chariot here, I guess. But, yeah, without any healing, it could be potentially risky. Illyrian Reavers coming through. They're going to get a pretty good engagement here. Start to pick off a few models of those Dark Riders. Meanwhile, over on the far side, again, these Silver Helms and Reaver Archers just chasing the Dark Riders around, trying to eliminate that skirmish component as much as possible. Another Soul Stealer being cast here. And a Spirit Leech on the Master now. But it's looking interesting, yeah. Dark Elves, one Scourge Runner Chariot being chased off there. You can see all these Silver Helms. The Reavers are also shooting the Repeater Crossbows as they're chasing them, which is really nice. Likewise over here, this Master all of a sudden gets caught out. And Falcon, a very minor mistake here, could end up costing him pretty severely as this Master just gets crumped on by a whole bunch of units. Chariots charging him. He's getting Spirit Leech. Looks like he's going to get Doom and Darkness as well to try and break his leadership. Lady's coming back up and around for another cycle charge. She should be able to get a good charge there with her 62 charge bonus on that Eagle. Nice Gaze of Malice, though, in response. Will do a bit of damage to those Dragon Princes. He does get broken, but he will probably be able to be saved by some of his friendly units. Reavers coming through. They're going to engage these Dark Riders in the rear in melee, but the Chill of Sontar is close enough to probably provide some support there. And the last of the Elf melee cavalry, the High Elf melee cavalry, is going to be routed off here as well. So just a little bit of a rough time. I mean, maybe Tank could still bring this back, but I'm just not seeing it with all the Scourge Runner Chariots, and especially with the Chill being so healthy. There really are no units on the field still that have a good way of dealing with the Chill. Look at all this ammo, too, on these Dark Riders. Going to be able to use that potentially on this Noble. Like, you could almost just crash the Noble with the Scourge Runner Chariots. Nice breath attack there. That frost breath attack does apply frost bite, so those units can now be charged by the Scourge Runner Chariots, who with their charge bonus will come in and actually do a bit of damage here. Could potentially drop some models, and at the very least just kind of disrupt these units from pulling away. Malekith also in here, mixing it up, trying to get things done. Nobles coming from behind. We've got another Noble over there as well, and the Bird Lady, the Death Bird Lady. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. Here comes the lady diving. Oh, I'm sorry, the noble diving in. Got a handful of Reaver archers also kind of picking and poking, but I'm honestly, the Chill of Sontar still has so much HP left that it's going to be tough. I don't think I even need to show the scoreboard anymore. It's pretty clear that Falcon has won this. At this point, there's not enough competitors left for him to even be challenged for the king's seat. Or he can still be challenged for the seat, but rather his score won't be challenged. But Tank's continuing to fight here. He's keeping these Dread Spears and Dragon Prince, or sorry, the Silver Helms and Dragon Princes online. Cycle charging, likewise used up the last of the ammunition there on the Illyrian Reaver Archers, now coming for a rear charge on those Dread Spears. And the Archmage is also still alive, so, I mean, Tank's not completely out of this yet. He's still fighting tooth and nail, doing whatever he can to break whatever units he can, but Noble once again getting caught out here by Malekith and the Chill. Definitely not a good time for him. That massive armor-piercing damage and the Frostbite especially slowing him down won't be great. Looks like he was able to mostly escape there without getting frostbitten. But, yeah, with these various mobile units, like, I would grab these Reaver Archers, go chase those Repeater Crossbows, grab some of the Melee Reavers, go chase the Dread Spears, chase these other Repeater Crossbows off. Like, just chase. Whenever you break a unit, you need to try and chase them off, right? When you're in this kind of a position here. So, looks like instead he's bringing in all the cavalry to try and support a final engagement. I don't know. Can Tank actually win this? The concern I have is Malekith, and I guess if he was able to break Malekith somehow and either kill him or chase him off the battlefield, then the Chill could potentially have leadership issues. But yeah, the Reaver Archers now swinging over to this side, chasing these units off, exactly what he needs to do. Stay calm. No, don't get too caught out by this giant blob here, and just get whatever units are singled out. Just like this. Yep, nice little charge in there. Reavers will take some damage in return, but they will be able to break those Dark Riders. See them off the side. And the fact that they still have ammunition left is really important as well. You can get rid of that ammunition by getting rid of that unit, right? So, there's that. And that. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. These Dark Riders, again, though, back. Able to get a few shots in here. Will it be enough to break the spirit of these Reavers? Those look like they're going to be able to get the charge. With their fancy helmets, cone hats, and the Dark Riders at that will shatter. So Falcon very patiently, or Tank rather, very patiently kind of picking off these peripheral units wherever he can find them. And at this point, there aren't a whole lot left to chase. I mean, there's a few more Dark Rider or Dread Spears here, and he does still have ammo on these Reaver Archers as well. So this could potentially be a pretty long kind of end game here. As, oh, they shattered. Oh, that's super painful. They shattered with some ammo left still. So now Tank has no option to continue skirmishing because he doesn't have any more ammunition. But he can move in over on the side here with this Noble, try and get at this big infantry blob. Use the Noble to charge into the infantry blob. And yeah. Another Spirit Leech on Malekith. These Silver Helms maneuvering up and around, getting a full surround. Same with these Silver Helms and Dragon Princes here. I think Tank maybe could actually bring this back. With Malekith going down to that Spirit Leech, he got a couple of really nice RNG hits on the Malekith from that Spirit Leech. And yeah, there's just a handful of spears here he can chase off. So very, very patient. It probably will take a while to finish this one, but Tank is doing his best. And I counted him out at one point, but he might still have a chance here. Playing to the strength of his mobility, finishing whatever he needs to. Now, Falcon chilling in the woods, very literally chilling. His units are pretty tired. They're getting a little bit of rest now, though. Chill of Sontar theme. Yep, exactly. Chill Bill's Hill. Now you can see the High Elves here. Oh man, Malekith is getting super, super low. Oh, a Soul Stealer! This will give Malekith a little bit more HP as long as he doesn't blow himself up with a miscast. And he does get a little bit of HP there. That will help restore, and it will also do some damage to the Noble, help break his leadership. Very nicely done with that final cast there. The Eagle Lady dives, and oh man, that was a risky dive. That was a very, very risky dive. Here comes the Reavers, though. They're now going to charge in the side here, start to get that full surround. We can see the other units of Shock Cavalry are following up, but they're not really within range to get it done. But oh man, nice charge from the Eagle Lady, using that charge bonus to get Malekith. Try and finish him off. The Noble then follows up immediately after. Will Malekith be able to survive this? He's down about 300 HP. Nice rear charge here. Oh, the Gaze of Malice does disrupt and even kill a few of those Silver Helms, but the charge now is pretty real. Malekith's still alive, though, and the Chill just absolutely resilient, terrifying away all of these units. And because their leadership is so low and the Chill is so healthy, that is going to continue to affect the balance of power, and I don't think Tank has what it's left. I don't think he has enough left as what it takes to defeat the Chill here. Yeah, and with the Chill especially having Frostbite, it's going to mean that anytime these units come in for a cycle charge attempt, they're going to take just tons and tons of damage because they won't be able to disengage very cleanly. And yep, shattered there. This unit now, this Dragon Prince likely will be shattered as well. Malekith's going to get picked here. 37 HP, yeah, he's done for. We get finished off by a Reaver. Oh man, that's sad. Gets finished off by a Silver Helm, actually. And so now, I mean, that equalizes the balance of power somewhat, but there's nothing to stop the Chill here at this point. Chill, Bill. No place for a gal to join in. I mean, absolutely creepy videos if you want to join. If you check out the link in the description down below, then you can see that I have a Discord server there. That's where I'll post my announcements, and there's a sign-up list and everything for when I do. So if you want to join, absolutely, it's open invitation. Anyone is welcome to join. We do play by the banner tournament rule set, but yeah, definitely check it out. I probably am not going to be doing one for about a week, just because I'm going out of town. But yeah, we'll be doing some more King of the Hills, probably at least weekly, if not bi-weekly, like if not a couple times a week. Yeah, the theme for today with Falcon was just Chill of Sontar builds, right? So okay, both players taking a really long time to attack. I don't really know why Tank is taking so long here for this. Like, honestly, there's not really a lot of ways for him to win. Like, regardless of what he does, it's going to be close to impossible for him to kill the Chill of Sontar, so at this point, might as well just charge and get it over with so we can get on to the next game. I mean, yeah, like everything, as soon as it gets within range of the Chill, it's just going to get terrified, so... Yeah, and especially with the Chariots having enough mass to, like, block up the Knights as well, and they also have the speed to continue chasing the Knights and continue blocking them. Yep, big old terror route right there. Silver Helms somehow still holding. I don't know how, but it's the elves that would not rout. I feel like that was about 5 minutes longer than it needed to be, but that's fine. That's fine. Kind of drew things out there a little bit unnecessarily, which could be a rules violation. But, I mean, he lost anyways, so... Yeah, even if he kills everything, the Chill won't get scratched. Exactly. There's not enough DPS at that point to finish off the Chill. So, okay, let's go ahead and get in the next one. It looks like Namru returned, and since he was actually one of the first ones on the list, I am going to let him in. So... let's go ahead and get him in there. And then... So we'll go ahead and throw Namru back in. Looks like he had a power outage, which is unfortunate, but... Go ahead and get some music going. Oh, did I close it out? Oops, that's fine. Alright, I'll be right back. Yes, Rubber Duck got it right. It doesn't really matter who has mobility and who doesn't. You both have to attack. And you were both kind of not attacking there. Which is why I didn't call it a rule break. Because neither of you were attacking, right? And so if you're both breaking the rules, like who is actually breaking the rules? But yeah. Yeah. I mean, Falcon was at least moving his units around, like... Yeah. I'm not going to say that he was straight up camping in the forest, because you kind of had him in a full surround there, like he would move towards one, and then you would move away, and then he kind of moved towards the other one, then you'd move away, but yeah, whatever. Doesn't really matter. I didn't actually call it a rule break, even though you were both kind of breaking the rules. Like, I honestly, it's a bit of a judgment call, but I probably could have called it on both of you, but I didn't. Okay, whoops, I forgot to switch the map. That's fine. Let's do... let's do Schwarzhofen. Or is it SCH, right? Yep. Okay. Well, the ironic thing too is like waiting to charge in that whole time the chill's just regenerating, right? Or was it at its healing cap? I don't think it was at its healing cap. I think it was regenerating still. So, there's kind of some consideration there. But yeah, there was no chance to kill the Hydra. Yeah, it was a great game. That is true. Very, very close. Rules are made to be argued over. That's correct. That is correct, actually. Alright, let's see what we got here. Falcon defending his throne against good old Namru. Oh, no, it's Ice Power. Ice Power jumped in. Okay. Yeah, that's hilarious. I thought it was Namru in here, and it's actually Ice Power. But going for the mirror match, interesting. I guess the only thing that can counter Hydra is a Hydra, right? We've got Malekith, Chill of Sontar, 3 Scourge Runners, Slaanesha's Harvesters, Dark Riders, 2 Dark Riders, yeah, with crossbows. We've got 2 Dark Riders with spears and shields here, 3 Bolt Throwers, 4 Dark Shards with shields, 2 Dark Riders. Ooh, interesting. I don't know about this. I don't know about this ground game. Oh, track is such a banger. We'll fade it out, though, as there is music in-game now. I don't know about this. Little Supreme Sorceress Lore of Shadows with her wide build here, I think is going to get stepped on by the Chill. The fact that he's got all of this stuff to protect. You see 4 skirmish units, 4 infantry skirmishers that are all relatively expensive, and 3 bolt throwers are all basically the same price. So this is what, like 7,000 times 7? 4,900 points worth of skirmishers, if I'm mathing right. That's a lot. That's a lot to protect with less than that. And you don't even have like a high tier monster or caster or mass to protect. It's just all light stuff too. So I don't know about that. We'll see. The bolt throwers, oh man, look at that, tearing into those Scourge Runners right off the bat. Absolutely wrecking. Absolutely wrecking shop there, so that's pretty good. And yeah, bolt throwers Bolt throwers are pretty good. I don't know, maybe this will end up telling, but I think there's just too much to protect here with too little. Like, Falcon will take some damage on the approach, absolutely. But also, he's going to be able to overload and start to overwhelm very quickly. Especially because this formation's kind of spread out a little bit. Like, he can very much concentrate one at a time and just roll through and break all of these various units. This is a pretty strong Dark Elf build, I have to say. 3 Scourge Runners, solid kind of mobile force. He's also got Slaanesha's Harvesters, who are going to trade against these Dark Riders very efficiently because of their better attack stats and so on. And oh man, it's like a bit of a swing and a miss on that Penumbral Pendulum. Falcon able to dodge that just barely. It was pretty close though, and a beautiful side-shotting breath attack right through those Dread Spears. I would imagine then that this chill is going to side-shot through these Dread Spears here. And that'll be 2 infantry units, 2 of those critical protection units broken already, and you can see that this Dark Shard and this Reaper Bolt Thrower are already exposed. The Blackguard are having to kind of respond over here, and all of these spears are just kind of out of position. And yep, one of them gets deleted right there. Oh, no, instead of this one, I guess these guys are almost dead anyway. And yeah, all of a sudden there's 3 of those critical protection units that are gone. That being said, Slaanesha's Harvester's taking all of the fire here from the focus fire, of the Dark Shards. They're going to pull back. Malekith is also down on the ground, helping to break up some of these Dark Riders with a quick tear route. Likewise, the Scourge Runners providing a little bit of a hammer there. Penumbral Pendulum. Oh, barely mistimed, just barely mistimed. It's not going to do as much damage as he would have wanted, but look at the Focus Fire. If the Focus Fire can do enough before they get there, I mean, I guess it's enough, right? The Dark Shards are doing a ton of damage right now to this Chill. Poor Chilly Boy, without even getting in melee here. He's got the breath kills, 78 breath kills, but not quite enough to pay for himself. But here comes the compromise. The Slaanesha's Harvester is finally going to get in and start to compromise these archers. Breath attack as well, deleting one of those Dark Shards there. So yeah, also these Dark Riders can make a push up and around with Murderous Prowess active for both sides. Everyone's going to be extra killy with everyone else. But look at that, Chilly Boy getting routed off here by the Supreme Sorceress. Great job by Ice Power here with these Dark Riders as well to help support against those Scourge Runners. Is this actually the answer? I don't know. These Dark Shards now need to turn fire. Oh man, beautiful Gaze of Malice just wrecking that nice little box of Dark Shards. This other unit of Dark Shards is going to get inundated by Dark Riders here, so things are not looking great, but at the same time, Blackguard here, everything's dark and black and you know, sad swords and all that. Witch Elves here, and look at that, another Penumbral Pendulum, going to finish off those Slaanesha's Harvesters. Beautifully done, so this pocket is now somewhat secure. This Supreme Sorceress can kind of fall back here. And is this it? Is this it for the Chilly Boy? Where does Chilly Boy go? Oh, he's shattered. Chilly Boy's shattered. That is a huge deal. Malekith still being alive is also very helpful, but this defensive focus, actually, I was saying that Ice Power is going to get overwhelmed, but he's been able to protect enough. You can see here, like, one of these Bolt Throwers still online. We've still got, like, a handful of Dark Shards kind of scattered around various places. Dark Rider is also cleaning up the Sad Swords and going to be going after those Slaanesha's Harvesters, I would imagine, so a really interesting fight. Let's just take a minute to appreciate these Dread Spears who have been wet noodling each other the entire time. And one of them is actually winning, which is just goes to show kind of the RNG in this game. 2 units that are exactly evenly matched will sometimes one of them will win, which is just how it goes. But a beautiful Soul Stealer. Oh man, that burns. That absolutely burns. Breath attack not quite as effective as a lot of those units were able to dodge out of the way there, but likewise, oh man, the Supreme Sorceress now having to cut and run. If she gets sniped, that will be the game for Ice Power, definitely. And the Balance Power starting to turn against him a little bit. Beautiful Enrage there. The Witch Elves able to tag Malekith, enfeebling foe on him as well, but he is still with the Enrage, just hell-bent on getting after that Supreme Sorceress. Now finally getting distracted by the unit models that are around him. He will take some damage from those Blackguard, but oh man, don't charge her back in. What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh no. No, he's still mad at her. Get her away. Get her away. Yeah. But Malekith's forces, the Scourge Runner Chariots, actually come through and clean up a lot of those Dark Shards in the late game. The Dark Riders aren't enough to finish them off, and I think the Scourge Runners will end up saving the day here, actually, because of that. Yeah, this one healthy unit of Dark Riders, too, having been held in reserve, now can come in and just wreck these Blackguard. Word of Pain on them as well, so they have 0 melee attack. They're really not going to be making contact on Malekith at all, so Falcon, man, that looked a little dicey for a minute there. That was, yeah, it looked like Ice Power maybe had the potential win, but Falcon able to sustain that, get his chariots back online, and win the day here, most likely. I don't know, enfeebling foe? Nope. No enfeebling foe, which is very risky for this Supreme Sorceress to be standing here. I guess she's just praying for an enrage, but oh man, she takes a hit to the face, and that hits army losses in the face. Wow. Wow, yeah. That was close, man. That was close. The Scourge Runner Chariots definitely carried in the late game there, but great job by Ice Power breaking the chill with the mass crossbows there. That was actually really good. Yeah, the bolt throwers, I mean, that was actually kind of okay. I almost wonder if you just maybe get something else here. I don't know. Some, like, maybe one unit of Cold One Knights, maybe? I don't know. That was really good, though. Pretty decent stuff. Unfortunately, the bolt throwers weren't quite enough to counter the Scourge Runner Chariots. They did a lot of damage to them initially, but yeah, GG. Yeah, that Soul Stealer right there, I think that broke up all the Dark Riders. I actually think that was pretty critical as well, because those Dark Riders had a pretty good route going, and they could have potentially chased off some more of the the Scourge Runner Chariots, right? But that Soul Stealer, because they were all kind of blobbed up right there, that Soul Stealer ended up breaking a lot of them, right? I think all the Dark Riders were pretty much gone at that point, the melee Dark Riders for Ice Power. Oh yeah, that was good. That was really good. that was really good. All right, all right. Okay. Ice Power's gonna bow out there. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. So we got Namru in next. And then go ahead and get Malverde after that. So we're actually going a little bit over today of what I was planning on, but that's fine. You gotta hit the Discord link in description. Yeah, I decided actually I'm gonna be organizing on my own Discord. So yes, go ahead and just check in the description of this video. You'll see a link to my Discord, and you'll want to join that one. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We do have Namru plus 2 more to get through, and depending on where that puts us in terms of time, I need to go in about hour 10 minutes. They'll pick up my car, but yeah. Yeah, thanks Rubber Duck. Thanks for joining. Been a lot of fun. Thanks for joining and playing and watching all that jazz. We'll see you soon, man. Let's go ahead and get Red Desert lined up here. No, that's not the one I wanted. Iron Sand Desert is what I'm thinking of. We're gonna have more elves. Wow, this has been a very elven stream. Surprised no one has tried to do like Tomb Kings or even Coast is really good here. Like, Coast actually has a really strong matchup against Dark Elves, in my opinion. In most people's opinion, actually. For whatever reason, Dark Elves have a hard time versus those two undead factions. I think a lot of it has to do with HP, because Crumbling's, like, not really functional. The undead units end up having so much effective HP as compared to the elves. The Dark Elves in particular, and because Dark Elves' range is in a little bit of a weird place, like, you don't... It's powerful range, but it's not very long range, and oftentimes you can get outranged by, you know, enemy things that are more cost-effective, and anyway. Yeah. Yeah, next time for sure. Coast is good against Dark Elves, absolutely. And it took me a while to figure out why. I was like, because I looked at it on paper, I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me. Like, Dark Elves have good melee, they have pretty good skirmish, like, they have good counter-skirmish artillery. Like, what? Why? And then I, you know, looking through, obviously, all the crossbow units have shorter range. Like, really, the longest range unit you have consistently is Shades, which are pretty good in that matchup. They're also kind of expensive and a little squishy, and they don't take too much damage from something like Mortars or Queen Bess. But like a bunch of juiced up hounds, for example, like a unit of dogs with Dance Macabre, can do a lot of damage to them. And just in general, like, your other crossbows are too short, and even the bolt thrower is shorter range than the elf one and is heavily outranged by something like a carronade. So it's just a weird matchup where you get outshot. They can break up your rush well enough to kind of make it combat ineffective, because you really don't have enough HP and sustain without the healing. One high advantage that High Elves have here is not only do they have longer range, and the armor piercing doesn't matter so much because oftentimes you're really shooting at zombies, which have no armor. The range is really more important, right? And not only that, but they have healing, so that's two distinct advantages High Elves have over Coast. And even still, I think High Elves can sometimes have a hard time against Coast, just because of Coast's interactions with Elves in general. Tomb Kings, a little bit less so for High Elves, because the High Elves have such strong fire damage, and just in general, I think they have a pretty good matchup there. Dark Elves, same thing, like, Tomb Kings aren't as hard as Coast, but it's for similar reasons, not exactly the same reasons, but similar reasons, it's a bit tough. But anyway, let's go ahead and have a look here. Once again, we've got the, this time Manticore Lady with Shadows, and a second Feral Manticore up in the air. We've got Chill Boy, a nice staunch line of Sad Swords, Fear Spearheads, and Black Art Corsairs. We've got Dark Riders, Cold One Knights, and looks like Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, Archers, Spearmen. Overall build looks pretty solid. Dragon Princes. Ooh. Oh man, don't talk about sushi. I'm getting hungry, guys. I'm definitely gonna go get sushi after this. Stop. No, please don't stop, actually, though. Anyway, for the High Elves, we've got a Star Dragon here. We've got some Rangers. Spearmen up front, yeah, Archers, Bolt Throwers, as I mentioned. Techless. Dragon Princes. Dragon Princes. Like the pick of the Rangers here. They can clean up a lot of these chaff-type units. And the Star Dragon is going to be at a little bit of risk to the double Manticores in the sky. It will lose to two Manticores, just because it's a 2-on-1 engagement, and Manticores are actually pretty strong single entities in general. Their weapon strength is nice. They're very cost effective in general. I would say Manticores are probably one of the best monsters in the game. Barrel-aged Shoyu. Oh, that sounds good. Bolt Thrower is bolting, throwing bolts. Probably wants to pick at the Dark Riders, or Cold One Knights, rather. Kind of redeploying over here to the side. You can see Falcon overloading his cavalry all on one side, as is traditional here. A little bit of a Penumbral Pendulum there. It does mostly only cut archers, which is not the biggest deal in the world, but I mean, getting rid of that counter skirmish is pretty important, right? So you can see the Dark Riders kind of coming in, picking, and then falling back. Yeah. Cold One Knights are getting hit by that bolt thrower. They have lost a few models there already. Bolt thrower is also hitting models on the bleak swords there. Quite good. Oh man, this chill's got to be careful though. Yeah, you can see, ooh, the net is being cast. It looks like the 2 manticores are going to come. But here comes the VTOL breath. Oh, right on the chill. That does a lot of damage. Teclis has got to run, though. He's going to get hit by the Manticore here. The Star Dragon could rear charge and try and bail him out, but it looks like instead Teclis just going to screen through the spears there. Cold One Knights, oh man, no, the Dark Riders, rather, charge the Dragon Princes. That does mean these Cold One Knights aren't going to get the best charge here. But, yeah, you can see the Dragon Prince is now side charging in. That will be a pretty good engagement there. And also the Star Dragon maneuvering around to support. There's also the Dark Riders there as well. And the Manticore. So just all this, all these resources being committed here. There is a regrowth on those Dragon Princes. Very well timed. The Manticore hits the Star Dragon in the air. Looks like the Star Dragon is going to pull away as there's a lot of skirmish for the Dark Elves. These archers, I'm not sure who they're shooting at, but they really need to get rid of those Dark Riders. But the Chill's breaking through the front line. An absolute disaster, potentially, as the Chill could then get in. Looks like he's probably going to try and side shot those archers, I would imagine. The Star Dragon's taking a lot of damage, though, from those the Dark Riders. All the cold and dark, and I don't even know. Yeah, side-shotting breath, exactly as I pictured, but also the Dragon Princes then punch out and get those Dark Riders. Dragon Prince is very fast, also have a very fast charge animation, and unfortunately the Feral Manticore is now enraged on the ground and is going to be caught up on those Dragon Princes and other units there, so definitely some nice back and forth. Namru looking to be in a decent position, but we've seen Falcon recover from some bad places in the past. Nice breath attack there, does terrify away those spearmen because of the friendly fire, but it did do some pretty decent damage to the Chill there. If Teclis can maybe get an enfeebling foe, use these Dragon Princes to come in and clean out all of this supporting infantry, and then have the Star Dragon charge down and start to take out the Chill, that could be good. Although at the same time, using the Star Dragon to like rear charge this Manticore and just delete that could be good. Or even now, oh man, this lady kind of making herself a little bit isolated, but looks like actually going to go for the regrowth and go for the Chill over here. Nice. Yeah, with the Manticore, this is not going to be maybe the best engagement. And oh man, this is potentially really bad if the other Manticore comes in, gets a rear charge, enfeebling foe there, and that is going to significantly nerf the melee stats, obviously, the Star Dragon. Will it be enough? The Chill looks like it's about to break. Very nice supporting charge by the Dragon Princes. They should be able to do some decent charge damage there. But the Feral Manticore and the Chill actually holding for the time being. Will that enfeebling foe run out? It's just about done. The regrowth also very key there. It looks like the Dark Elves are cleaning up this side of the battlefield pretty convincingly. They're going to be able to shut down those bolt throwers pretty soon. That is one way for Falcon to get back in this game, but he's going to have to be careful. His monster is really not doing great at this point. But the Star Dragon is getting kind of confused, doesn't really know like who to fight here. Teclis is pulling back to the Dragon Princes. We're preparing for another charge. Oh, and are they going to charge in? The Star Dragon needs to come back and get on these Manticores. I don't know why. I mean, I get trying to finish off the Chill. Oh man, it is so low though. If you could finish that thing off so it won't come back. Oh, nicely done. Okay. That at the same time though, Teclis is taking a lot of damage and he's not able to really pull through his own Dragon Princes there. And losing Teclis here would be an absolute disaster. Oh man, that Manticore, look at that silver chevron because of the damage done on Teclis. And another enfeebling foe as the dragon charges in. It still will get its charge bonus and get a massive hit there on the Supreme Sorceress. Yeah, then get stuck though. Oh man, this is super, super close. That enfeebling foe could end up deciding it, but even still, that probably has enough melee attack. Yeah, 39 even still has enough melee attack to get decent hits against the Manticore there. The Dragon Princes are supporting. Oh no, the Manticore lady, though, gets through and gets another hit on Teclis, and then she takes a hit. Probably going to get routed off by the Star Dragon there. Oh, it's super, super close right now. Absolute mad back and forth. It does look like Teclis is probably going to come back. Yep, he comes back, and the Manticore lady's gone, so it looks like the Star Dragon, if he can get up in the air, is going to eat a regrowth. Teclis, interesting not to use that on himself, but I guess he has Potion of Chiroi. Does he actually? Yes, he does. Okay, so a regrowth on the Star Dragon, and a Potion of Chiroi on Teclis, and it looks like Namru has this pretty well in the bag here. I don't want to call it too early, but Chill's down, both Manticores are routed, and especially this Manticore lady being the Lord, either going to get routed off, or she might just get caught here straight up. 85 speed compared to 80. Nah, I don't think she's going to get caught. I mean, no, the Vigor refresh, though, Does make the Star Dragon faster, of course, because she is tired, right? And he is fresh now. So maybe the Star Dragon might actually be able to catch that Supreme Sorceress, but no, it looks like he is going to choose not to. Instead, kind of maneuver out to the side and actually push her off the side. Yeah, good play there. And now the Dragon Prince is kind of getting out mobile. They're going to come over and support this infantry engagement here. Try and break up some of these Dark Elf infantry. The other Manticore came back, tried to support here. But man, what a game. What a game. All it took to take the chill was Star Dragon and Teclis, which is a really good combo. Really, really good combo. Even before Teclis got his mount, and even without his silly bird, it is still an incredibly potent combo. Breath attack there. Nice. Does get some good contact on those Corsairs. Manages to break them. Dragon Prince is charging through, and that looks like army losses. So, right at the end, man, Falcon going like, what, 7 games? 8 games? Something like that? Wow. What a game, man. What a game. GG indeed. That was some really nice back and forth. Great job by Namru, playing off his Dragon Princes and the Star Dragon there, getting some really nice engagements, and at the end of the day, it was enough. Definitely was enough. Beautifully done. That was awesome, man. Wow, that was awesome. Round of applause. Round of applause for Falcon and Namru after that one. Great job, guys. Great job. Beautiful game. That's why I do what I do, is because of games like that, man. That was epic. So, okay, let's go ahead and get the next competitor in here. Malverde might be offline, we'll see. But in the meantime, let me get this going. Okay. And then... Man, that was... Woo. Teclis hoping no one notices he didn't get a kill. Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. That was awesome. That was awesome. That was a game. Okay, looks like I got a rehost, so we'll go ahead and just pop this up there. What? There we go. Alright. Oh, whoops, nope, not that. Okay, get the next map lined up. We'll finish stuff on MP Peak Pass. Or no, let's do MP Alpine Ridge. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, man. Great run with the chill. Beautiful showcase of the chill bill. All hail the chill of Santa. Oh yeah, that was great, man. Good stuff. Alright. Dancing Wurzag taking us home. We got this game, and then we potentially going to have one more with Happy Puppy, and I think that will be it. Right? This blocker music combo is great. It feels good. Alright. Oh man, that's a little bit off. That's trolling me right now. There we go. Is that better? Namru's going with the Dark Elves, no bans. Interesting. Malverde's staying as Chaos. Very nice. That's what I like to see. Oh yeah, this track is also great with this visual as well. Alright. Man, been going for quite a bit of time today. Let's have a look at this. What's the time? Oh, wow, only not even 3 hours. We've gotten through a lot of games. I'm surprised how many games we've got through in the meantime. Oh, what a banger. Man, this track's so good. Med 2, man, all of the Total War games, I'll be honest, have had great music. And Total War Warhammer, definitely, like the Warhammer 1 like classic menu theme, like gives me goosebumps every single time. Like heavy nostalgia, just all the feels every single time. And Rome 1 and Rome 2, for example, like the campaign tracks on Rome 2, like the campaign main screen tracks, like I can straight up zen meditate to those. Like the Rome 1 tracks are just classic. Again, same thing, super nostalgic. And like this, there's quite a few of them, the battle tracks especially, that are just straight bangers. Just go so hard in the paint. It's good, honestly. Props to all of the composers for all of the Total War games. They've all been great. And like even Attila, man, like the throat singing, like that just like adds the whole vibe, like the atmosphere of this giant Hunnic invasion. Like, it's so cool, man. And I mean, Shogun 1 even, like that music, you go back and when I listen to it now, again, same thing, heavy nostalgia, like Medieval 1 as well. Would you guys be interested in saying like the ancient Total War games, like like Shogun 1? I mean, there's graphically not a lot to look at, but those games are still really fun even to this day. All right. Getting some stuff set here. I have a lot of really awesome videos coming up for you guys. I'm super excited. I have some awesome thumbnails too that I've been making. Just looking at my studio here right now in the background. We wait. Checking out all the videos upcoming. Still need to record one more today. Looks like these guys are getting started. Let's get this popped. Thanks, Warzag, for keeping us company, and for the Med 2 music also. Beautiful. Smack the mic real quick. Apologies about that. All right. Let's see what we got here. Looks like Malekith leading the way. Couple of... one Hargoneth, the Blades of the Blood Queen, very strong in this matchup. Blackguard here. And the Chill. We've got, looks like 3 Sad Swords, 2 Blackguard, 2 Dark Riders, 3, Repeater Crossbows. On the Chaos side here, oh man, is this going to be just super laggy? We've got Big Bird, Double Shaggoth, Marauders, Mirror Guard, Gorebeast, regular Chaos Chariot, and a whole bunch of Marauders, Horsemen with throwing axes and javelins in a mix. And we'll see, this is going to be interesting. It's a very heavy push. Big Bird Double Shaggoth is something I've been seeing quite a bit of recently, and I do think it's pretty strong. It gives you 3 very strong monsters. Shaggoths can operate somewhat independently. They have excellent charge and melee stats and weapon strength and just overall good stats. The armor is the one thing that's not amazing. They do have 25% missile resistance, which is okay. Helps mitigate that. Big Bird, on the other hand, has almost no armor. He's only got 30, but of course... It does have much heavier missile resistance at 50% and 25% magic resistance. So, if Chaos had somebody with Guardian, that would be almost ridiculous, because then you could give this guy 15% physical resistance, which would give him effectively, damage resistance, right? Because magical plus physical equals damage resistance. And then, of course, missile resistance would go up as well, back to 65, which would be absolutely insane. So maybe it's good that Chaos doesn't have someone with Guardian, honestly. Oh, I guess they do. They do have the Swords of Chaos. You almost never see them, though. And because they themselves are not very tanky, you know, you just, instead of targeting Big Bird with those things, you just target, you know, the Swords of Chaos, but... yeah. To be honest, I really think they should take Guardian from the Swords of Chaos and give it to the Mirror Guard instead. And then give the Swords of Chaos another ability. Or you could just let them both have Guardian. But, oh man, this lag, though. Come on. Come on, stabilize. Stabilize, I believe. I believe in a thing called love. And it's not on my internet connection, apparently. Oh, did we get a crash? Who crashed? Somebody crashed. Come on. Nope. Nope, we're good. Apparently that was it. Just a massive spike there at the beginning. Hopefully it's not too much more. Somebody's playing on a light bright over here. Yeah, we'll see about the lag if it decides to stabilize or not. It's looking like it's subsiding a little bit there, so I think we'll be okay. If it ends up being too unbearable, we can always just nope out of this game. But wow, that's a lot of Marauders. Yeah, he's going to have to be careful to kind of skirmish those guys away. But at the same time, Malverde's got to be careful not to get too overextended. With the chill, it could get a side-shotting breath and potentially apply that frostbite to a bunch of these different range units at once, and then with a quick follow-up charge from these Dark Riders, they can clean up quite a few of them very quickly. But you can see Namru moving up, seizing the high ground position. Definitely a very good play there. Will give him more missile damage and charge damage, and also will tire out his opponent faster when they are fighting uphill. So there's a number of advantages to taking a hill, and Namru doing just that, seizing the high ground. Obi-Wan would be pleased. Meanwhile, the Chaos Forces just wheeling and dealing all the way around, trying to find a place to get in and get some work done, but the hill position definitely will tell, and you can see here that these Dark Riders, they can come forward and start to pick away, like especially at these kind of slower infantry units that are exposed on the side here, especially the Mirror Guard. Just rush up right here, take some pot shots at the Mirror Guard. Yeah, we'll see about this lag. Seems like it's okay. But instead, they're opting to go over here and try and counter-skirmish on these Marauder Horsemen, which is definitely a good play. Staying tight to this formation here. Making sure they got plenty of infantry support. I don't know. Wow, we'll see. Nice javelin and throwing axe play right into the side of those Blackguard. That's going to do a lot of damage. Malekith comes over, though, responds with a Gaze of Malice, and those Dark Riders get a beautiful volley in there, doing a lot of damage to those Marauder Horsemen throwing axes. Got more Marauders coming over here, and yeah, the infantry line here just kind of stabilizing a little bit. Yeah, Malekith staying chill. Chill staying chill. Nice kind of Parthian tactics here. Running in, throwing a volley, pulling back, trying to get Namru off the hill, but Namru is staying put to his position and just using his bows to kind of counter here as much as possible. He does come forward with a few of his infantry, sort of hanging out his bleak swords here, almost a little bit like bait, but you can see the chariots coming up and around the side here. They do need to be careful. The Dark Riders with shields can block up their mass, and then the Chill of Sontar likewise. But looks like the Dark Riders instead nope out to the other side. Interesting. They're going to try and support against all of these Marauders instead, which is definitely a good play. But oh man, those Marauder Horsemen eating it right in the face. Unfortunately, it looks like the Chill of Sontar a little bit mispositioned there, and the Chaos Chariot is able to come in and get a nice little side charge. These Marauders can probably immediately just follow up then, but it instead looks like still pushing over to the side, just kind of wheeling around, not taking the engagement here. But yeah, the Chariot did come into a lot of disruption and damage to that one unit, which is pretty cost effective already, but it looks like they did get hit by the Frostbite. Yeah, it doesn't do too much to them, and the poison as well from the K-Knight Assassin. Perhaps they could stack that and really get a good effect to slow the chariots down, but it looks like it is going to be able to pull back through the Marauders there. Here, these Bleak Swords, the Sad Swords, against the Chevroned Marauders are actually going to trade really cost-effectively with those Sad Swords. So it's a pretty sad day for them. I mean, you see why they're so sad about their swords. But the consistent DPS from the Canine Assassin is one thing that's going to be pretty underrated here. You can see the Blackguard coming forward to help defend, and the Chill pulls back to stand on top of the Blackguard there. Blades of the Blood Queen also coming forward to start mopping up this melee engagement. Blades of the Blood Queen, believe it or not, are basically halberds, right? Because they have such high stats, 56 attack and 43 defense, up to 67 defense with that stand your ground active, and 44 total weapon damage, even without the anti-infantry, like against large units, they can still hold their ground almost as well as the unit of Blackguard, right? Like, you compare their stats, Blackguard here are very comparable in terms of their stats. They have less melee attack. Obviously, the anti-large bonus kind of helps make up for that, so they will do slightly more damage as well, but a really nice Soul Stealer also going to do a lot of damage to this Chaos Pocket, and the monsters are fighting right on top of these halberds and the Blades of Blood Queen. Really not great, but a beautiful bombardment now from... who is that from? Is it a Searing Doom or yep, Searing Doom from Big Bird? Going to come down and do some really nice cost-effective damage to those Blackguard. Actually, wow, that's a lot less than I was expecting. Maybe it won't do that much damage to them. But looks like the Shaggoths are having a little bit of a hard time. The Dark Riders are doing very well screening out all of these Marauders so that they can't throw axes like at these very expensive infantry units. And Blades of the Blood Queen, the Blackguard, holding out for the time being. They have taken quite a bit of damage, though, all things considered. Just about finished off one Shaggoth. Big Bird's taking a beating as well. A second Shaggoth is starting to take a beating. And is that the... is there a Web of Shadows? I don't think this guy has Web of Shadows. He does, okay. So that can be used as well, almost like as a tertiary Soul Stealer. But it looks like the one Shaggoth pretty much already been dealt with, and this balance of power already very favorable for Namru as he's able to clean up with these Blades of the Blood Queen in the front line. Let's get in close. Watch these Blades of the Blood Queens fight in slow-mo against the Mirror Guard here. Two very cool-looking units. And two very strong units, but Blades of the Blood Queen absolutely outclass. I think the Blades of the Blood Queen honestly might be the best infantry in the entire game. I'm gonna go ahead and give them that title personally, with the Frenzy and with that Guardian. The fact they have crazy good stats, immune to psychology, murderous mastery, which gives them a massive damage spike, right? Not currently active, but it's getting close. I don't know. Yeah, when the Murderous Mastery pops, that is going to be like the end of the battle, I think, for the Warriors of Chaos. But they're trying their best. More Searing Doom being popped over here. Side-shotting Hydra Breath Attack right into these Chevroned Marauders. Nice. Namru is able to mostly dodge that Searing Doom as well. And that pops off the Murderous Prowess. You can see with the Murderous Mastery. Let's check back in with the Blades of the Blood Queen. Where are their stats at? Yeah, 68 attack. 112 leadership. They are absolutely indomitable here. Beautiful stuff. Big Bird's pulling up and around, trying to rally his forces here. Things are not looking great. The Marauder Horsemen still, most of them are pretty healthy, but they really just haven't been able to contribute the whole time. And so even though they haven't been killed, or haven't been getting kills rather, the Dark Riders have done their job at more just screening out than anything, right? And the Dark Riders with crossbows also able to act basically as like mobile Dark Shards, right? Like ride around, reposition quickly, get volleys off. Not necessarily a traditional skirmish cab in the same sense of the Marauder Horsemen, but yeah, good stuff. Crimson Killers are better because of splash attacks. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to really sit down and give a hard think. But yeah, it's one of those two for sure. Yeah. Well, and the other thing to consider too is like I don't necessarily. I mean, those 1v1 testing tourneys are okay, but like when I am making my unit lists and comparing units, I do take the faction and abilities into consideration. Now, I would say that Murderous Mastery is comparable to Wa. You might be able to get more Was over the course of the game, but Murderous Mastery and Murderous Prowess last for a really long time. So I would call that kind of a wash between those two army abilities. The factions themselves, I do think Greenskins are probably right now a little bit better than Dark Elves in general, but also the fact that the Blades of the Blood Queen have Guardian makes it, you know, kind of gives them some points in their favor over the Crimson Killers, in my eyes at least. It gives them some extra utility, especially considering that a lot of your lords have good physical resistance already. I don't know, like there's just more synergy potential for the Blades of the Blood Queen, whereas the Crimson Killers are just probably a better unit overall, but they're just a unit, right? Like there's, besides Wa and your other, you know, like obvious melee attack support buffs like Sneaky Stabbing or Fist of Gork or whatever, like there's not a lot of direct synergy with them, like there is with the Blades of the Blood Queen. So personally, because of that, I would give the Blades of the Blood Queen a slight edge. But I do think that the Crimson Kills would probably just straight up win in melee. Yeah, Zerkovich, I'm not gonna lie, I don't really watch his content. Nothing against him personally, it's just that, like, I don't see him actively playing in the multiplayer community, and it's not that those test videos or anything that he does is invalid, that's not what I'm trying to say. It's just more so that, like, I usually take things from the perspective of multiplayer players, and, like, I still will do testing videos on occasion and like, make lists and comparisons of videos, and you know, doing something like that, like comparing what is the best infantry, and it certainly is interesting and useful in its own way. But I don't know. For me, it's like you really got to give like context to testing. And if I'm gonna do like top lists, like I actually have written a few top lists that I'm gonna be publishing soon. I say soon, you know, over the next few months. But like in those, I will be taking like a testing performance like that into consideration. But for me, it's more so about the overall function of the unit, its overall utility, like potential for synergy, like how it fits into the faction and its role in the faction as a whole, right? Like if it's, what's a good example of this? Like Chaos Warriors are one of the best units in that like shielded mid-tier infantry class, right? But they really should be, because by design of their faction, like it's called the Warriors of Chaos, right? So the Chaos Warriors should be, you see, like one of their mainline units, and therefore it makes sense that they're probably in the upper tier of that classification of unit, right? Anyway. Yeah. Like, I do have a Silver and Guards testing video, and there will be lots of caveats and context given to that, and then I'm gonna rank them. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna do it in that video, but I am gonna do a ranking of mid-tier shielded infantry. So that's actually a really important unit class right now in the meta. It's one of the most important unit classes, I would say, for many factions. How you win. Or at least the unit that you play off of. Okay, but let's go ahead and look here. Okay, let's move that there. And just getting things situated. Okay. Right, but High Elves, like, it's more about the faction design and, like, what their marquee units are supposed to be. Like, High Elves, you know, like, by their faction design, they're supposed to be relatively narrow but elite, and which fits in. They're supposed to be like kind of a skill faction, like a little bit glass cannony, not as glass cannony as wood elves or dark elves, a little bit more sustainable in that way, which I mean is represented in game. They have, you know, healing and stuff, and really for me, in my eyes, like the high elves marquee units are like, you know, the dragons, you know, dragon princes, stuff like that. And those units are all very strong, right? And I don't know, you think about like the Empire. Empire doesn't necessarily have any super powerful units, but again, just thinking about the faction design, like they generally have pretty cost-effective, you know, units just like in each class. They're relatively cost-effective at their role, and when you use them in a combined arms way, then they do very well. I mean, you can stand toe-to-toe with just about anyone. And that's, again, it lives up to the faction design, right? And so, for me, for the Warriors of Chaos, thinking about them is it's like a powerful infantry corps with lots of powerful monsters, and then supporting, you know, light marauder infantry, horsemen, hounds, stuff like that. And so having the stable, you know, strong core of Chaos Warriors, then it makes sense why the Chaos Warriors would be a good kind of mid-tier, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense the way I'm explaining it, but although, like, in that, just as a spoiler alert, if you guys don't want to hear the, you know, the top unit in this class, go ahead and mute if you don't want that video spoiled. But let's go ahead and lock in the map here. We'll do Toothgrass Hill. That's nice and thematic. Getting some lizardmen in here. Haven't seen any lizardmen yet today. That's good to see. But like for me, for example, if I'm ranking mid-tier shielded infantry, I'm going to go ahead and after the Silverin Guard's nerf, that does change things a little bit for me, but Grave Guard are number one by far. There's a few reasons for that. Number one is they're super cost-effective, 750 points for 90 armor. They have good weapon strength with anti-infantry, and more than anything, they're both undead and on the Vampire Counts roster, which means they have access to literally unlimited healing, right? So, and they're functionally unbreakable, pretty close to it, because they are undead, right? And crumbling does so little damage that they have a pretty high HP pool. It's going to matter relatively little, even if they do take, you know, a few hundred damage from crumbling over the course of a game. So Graveguard, because of those reasons, those are all, even though the Graveguard's stats in and of themselves aren't the best in that class, like I think they will actually lose to, will they actually lose to Chaos Warriors? I think Chaos Warriors will probably beat them. I don't know, I'd have to check and see. It'd probably be pretty close. But and they might lose to some other units in that class, but because they're undead and because of the healing, that's what puts them at number one, right? And they also cause fear and, you know, all the other perks that come with being a Vampire Count unit. Second on that list, I would put Longbeards. And Longbeards, similar to Chaos Warriors, like dwarfs, because it's infantry only and missiles, right? There's no monsters, no cavalry at all. Their infantry has to be really good and really cost-effective, and Longbeards are. 700 points for expert... it's not expert charge defense, is it? It's just charge defense against large? I forget. Either way, they have magic resistance, they have immune to psychology, encourage, super high leadership, great armor, and defensive stats. Again, they will lose to a lot of other units in that class in a head-to-head fight, but they're only 700 points. They're one of the cheaper units in that classification. So I'd put Longbeards at number 2. And for the role that they play for the dwarfs as well, having a strong mid-tier defensive unit that can hold the line while the missiles get the work done, or the slayers, or, you know, whatever your DPS units are, very strong. And now at number 3, I think I would probably put Silverin Guards. Or no, I'd probably put Chaos Warriors, honestly, over... maybe not. Maybe I'd put Silverin Guards over Chaos Warriors, even though Chaos Warriors are probably a better unit, like, again, in terms of their stats. Silverin Guards, because the magic resistance, expert charge defense, and anti-large kind of have a more versatile role, I guess would be a way of putting it. Like, they can kind of fill that mid-tier sword and shield infantry unit, even though they aren't one really. Like, since the nerfs, they aren't able to quite as well, but they still can. Then they do very well against large units, but especially like the magic resistance is huge, and the expert charge defense as well. So yeah, And then I'd put Chaos Warriors next after them. So even though Chaos Warriors, I would say, are one of the best units in that classification, I'd still put them, what, like 4th? So, Saurus, I'd probably put at number 5. And I guess that'd probably be my top 5 mid-tier shielded infantry. Honorable mention to Tomb Guard. Tomb Guard are just a little bit worse than Saurus. They might actually be a little bit better because they're undead. I'd have to think about that. Maybe Saurus get bumped out, actually, because they're not undead. I'd have to do a comparison between Tomb Guard and Saurus to think about it, but yeah. Yeah, Saurus with shields and Tomb Guards, Tomb Guards are pretty good, but one of their big problems compared to a lot of the other units that I've talked about is lack of armor. They only have 50 armor, compared to everything else I've talked about in this classification has more. Saurus are only at 60, which is when they both have pretty good weapon damage, but like kind of subpar attack. Saurus don't have the best defense. I mean, their melee stats are just kind of meh. Their weapon damage is really good, but yeah, like compare Saurus Warriors melee attack and defense to Chaos Warriors, and you'll see Chaos Warriors have a lot less weapon strength, but they have a lot better melee attack and defense. Tomb Guard are the lowest armor, so I don't know. They might be the worst, but I don't know. At worst, I see that in quotations. The Battle Pilgrims, I don't know if you'd even fit them into that unit classification, but if you do, they are absolutely the worst. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Top 5 low tier units. There's a lot to choose from. So I'd have to really sit down, and I'd probably have to break it into low tier spears and low tier melee infantry, because there's not a lot of mid tier spears in the game. Like, there's just not. So that's why I kind of lump Silver and Guards in with the other guys. You could compare them, if you were to compare them to other mid tier anti-large units like Chaos Warriors with halberds. They're better than them. I don't know, they might actually be better than Biggins, too. I know they beat Biggins head-to-head. I don't know if that necessarily makes them better. But looking at other kind of mid-tier anti-large units, if you consider Slayers mid-tier, they're kind of like right on the edge of elite to mid-tier. Slayers are probably better. Silver and Guards are better than Azrai Spears, though. They're better than Halberdiers for sure. Yeah, they're definitely the best like mid-tier anti-large unit by far, and they even transcend that and go into the mid-tier melee infantry category, which is why I've been comparing them to these other guys. But yeah. Yes, but they also don't have what they lack, Malox, compared to Graveguard, is not being on the Vampire Counts roster. They don't have unlimited healing, right? That's the difference between Tomb Guard and Graveguard. Is Graveguard, not only do they have more armor, which does make a difference, on top of that, they have unlimited healing, right? And anti-infantry, which is nice. You have to factor in the anti-infantry when looking at their melee stats as well. Even though they won't always be fighting infantry, sometimes they will be, right? Goreherds with shields. Oh, that's one that I forgot about in that classification. Goreherds with shields, I mean, they're like... I would consider them low tier almost, because they're below 600 points. I don't know that I would consider them mid tier, but Goreherds with shields are really good. I mean, they're just way better than Battle Pilgrims, I think, like for almost the same cost. But anyway, enough about unit classifications and all that jazz. Let's have a look at these builds here. We've got some Black Ark Corsairs. Oh yeah, I also have a DPS units list that I'm probably going to be doing. But anyway, Dread Spears up front. We've got Shades. Chill of Sontar, Canine Assassin, Feral Manticore, and Malekith, yep, and Sorceress Lore of Beasts. So all the beasts going to be coming in, not only the Chill and a Manticore, but 2 more Manticores. As for the Tomb Kings, we've got some Ushabti Great Bows here, it looks like Skeleton Archers, and Nahakara Horsemen in the back, Ark in the Black, Skeleton Spears in back and front, a couple of Tomb Guard. We can look at Tomb Guard stats here right now. They have actually really good melee defense. 41 melee defense is nice. 42 weapon strength is also pretty good. I mean, I think that's second in total weapon strength only Tesaurus? Actually, Chaos Warriors might have more. I'd have to check. I don't know. But, I mean, they do have pretty decent stats overall. It's just this guy right here. 50 armor is really not great. It's the worst of any unit in this class. So... Oh, the regular, for Norska, the 400-point ones, they're pretty good. They're one of the better lower tier infantries for sure. Both the Chaos Marauders, because they're slightly cheaper, you can rank them up, and they're more cost effective with ranks. The Norskan ones have the Enrage, which makes them just slightly better to begin with, although they do rank a little bit less cost efficiently. Both of them, though, are very good. I would definitely class them in the top low-tier troops. Same with State Troop Swordsmen. I would put State Troop Swordsmen in the top class of low-tier. If you put Goreherds with shields in low-tier, then I would definitely put them up top as well in the top 5. Yeah. Big think. For elite shielded units, there's honestly not very many elite shielded units in the game. There's really only, like, Storm Vermin, like, Chosen with shields, right? I'm trying to think, what other elite shielded units? I guess if you consider Temple Guard, yeah, they're shielded. They're halberd, but they're still shielded. You know what, actually? You know what's a good comparison for Silverin Guard is Tomb Guard with halberds. I should look at them. Tomb Guard with halberds might be the second best mid-tier spear unit. But Shop to Greatwill is opening up shots here. They're going to be going after the Chill. The Chill will be able to shrug off some of that damage here, but we've also got Eyes of the Desert chilling, stalking, and yeah, the Bowfire focusing all on the Corsairs. Definitely a good call. They do have no missile resistance and also no missile block chance, and they do have 80 armor. Getting sundered, though, by the Blessed Legion of Demonetization, and yeah, that is a wrecked unit of Corsairs very quickly, but it looks like Ushabti going to be, or sorry, no, Manticore going to be summoned up already. Shades are getting into range as well to start tearing apart these Eyes of the Desert, and that presence will be felt there for sure. You can see the Eyes of the Desert are noping out of there, trying to get back out of range. The Corsairs, though, where they did get into melee unopposed, are going to absolutely blend these skeletons, so a nice pick there. Malekith coming forward, getting a nice Gaze of Malice on that armor sundering unit. And the Manticore going directly after Arcan, making sure he's disrupted. Can't, you know, get a clean engagement. Let's see. Chill has taken a lot of damage here. Already getting a healing proc there. I'd like to see a side-shotting breath throw into some of these Tomb Guard, perhaps. Let's see. Right now, the Chill's just pushing aggressively into the backline, and a nice blocking summon there to stop the Chill's charge animation from being able to get into the Shopti Greatbows. Meanwhile, the Shades are absolutely tearing units to shreds, one by one rather, while the Elves holding the front line. Over here on the far side too, this Manticore able to get an engagement on these Nekakara Horsemen, break them and keep them from getting back at the Shades. Likewise, the Corsairs just absolutely whacking the skeletons there. Chill, though, is having a little bit of a hard time. Let's see. Looks like we've got another summon here, potentially. Nope. Arcan did not summon. And a little bit of a Soul Stealer here on this giant blob of skeletons. Not too many low model count units, but it still will just deal a lot of damage in general. And the Corsairs are able to follow up, screen out for the Chill there, and give him some support so that he doesn't get too routed off here. Probably can stand and fight at this point, but Malekith's going to have to be careful. He's getting lit up by those Eyes of the Desert. The Manticore, the Summon Manticore has been routed off by those Nekara Horsemen here. So, nice back and forth, still very, very close. Summon Ushabti in the back line. Okay, that's what that summon was. They're trying to get back here and get at these Shades, but the Chill was able to disengage, get back, get some healing, and work on those giant bird, snake, people thing, stone, I don't know. And likewise, Arcan the Black coming after these Shades, not allowing them to free fire in melee. He got hit by something there. Looks like the Assassin's Trophy debuffing his melee stats, and suddenly, you know, the Shades, they do have 50 melee attack. They're actually not going to trade terribly, especially when his melee defense is debuffed down to 26. You can see Arcan the Black is actually taking damage in that engagement, so it's not the best for the Shades, but it's also not the worst. Malekith fighting Eyes of the Desert in melee. He's got his Beast Sorceress here. I don't know if she's really doing much, but she's here. And likewise, the Blackheart Corsairs, one advantage is they do have 40 speed. They can try and chase these Ushabti Greatbows and keep them occupied. Nice Gaze of Malice there, cutting into those Tomb Guard. The Tomb Guard are holding quite well. there, and also over here, able to just about finish off those Corsairs. And oh man, no, the Chili Boy, he gets routed off here. The bow fire is just too much from the Blessed Legion, and will he get shattered? He does not get shattered. He might actually come back. That's good. That's very, very good. It looks like, wow, Spirit Leech, long range, overcasted Spirit Leech from Arcan the Black to try and finish off the Chill of Sontar. It's so close. Yeah, man, this is a wild, wild game. A lot of back and forth here. This Canine Assassin still being alive is pretty important, but is he about to get blasted? Is he about to get blasted? Oh, man, he gets a couple hits there, but that jumping melee attack actually managed to dodge a few of those shots. Pretty decent stuff, and now now he's going to get hit hard in melee. They do have oh no, they don't have anti-infantry. That's right, he'll be fine. Sorceress also comes in there. Looks like this physical resistance being used as Malekith chases good old Arcan here. Arcan's going to run for his life. Probably won't escape, but at the same time, these Shades did get a summoned skeleton on them. And they're going to get taken out. The Manticore trying to bail them out as best he can, but it will not be enough. Happy Puppy is scrapping, man. This is a really, really good game. And the gaze attacks from the Eyes of the Desert here is blowing this up. Oh man, clips that Sorceress out of the air. She's not really feeling too great about her leadership at this point. Malekith is still here, but he's also getting pretty low. Those Ushabti Greatbows are still firing, but this Manticore, man, the Manticore's really got to be dealt with by something. Yeah, fall back to your anti-large Eyes of the Desert and let them screen out this Manticore in melee. Because right now, Arcan is having a bad day. Assassin's Trophy on him as well, debuffing his melee stats. Once again, that came out Assassin proving to be very, very clutch here. But yeah, those Eyes of the Desert, they need to bail out that Manticore if they can. Or bail out Arcan from the Manticore. Manticore is enraged now at the very least, so Namru doesn't have to micro it. But over here, the Dark Elves are able to stabilize quite a few troops, but look at these Tomb Guard, man, just pushing through the line, absolutely mopping up a bunch of Shades here. They're jumping unit to unit, starting to deal with the Dark Elf force. The Tomb Kings are starting to get a little bit behind on the balance of power, but another Spirit Leech from Arcan the Black trying to finish off that Feral Manticore there. He's still going to take that charge, and it will put him into crumbling, down to 304 damage, 304 HP. He's got the last Lever Mortis. Doesn't get even quite enough leadership to recover, and the physical resistance isn't enough as Arcan the Black goes down. That is going to be a devastating loss for the Tomb Kings. Let's see if they can continue to hold their leadership. The Eyes of the Desert, a little late showing up to fight the Manticore, but they are actually just about able to break it with one volley there. And yeah, with the Manticore going down here, it is just going to be mostly Malekith. Beautiful Gaze of Malice here, though, getting those skeletons who are crumbling. The Tomb Guard also, they're holding their leadership for the time being, but they're now isolated in between a bunch of units here. Chill of Sontar came back from route, so yeah, things not looking good. Norscan Champions. Oh yeah, Norscan Champions are another elite shielded unit that are pretty decent. The Great Weapons are terrible. The Great Weapons are absolutely terrible, but the Shielded Champions, yeah, it's another good shielded elite unit. Malekith's fighting here. He's actually doing alright. He's not taking too much damage from those Eyes of the Desert, so he'll be able to win that engagement, and that should trigger army losses. Got a handful of Ushabti Greatbows still running and fighting here, but another beautiful game, man. We've had tons of really, really good games today, so a big thanks to all of the players, you know, everyone who participated today. Belkon and Namru both doing the Chili Boy proud, carrying the banner all the way through the day. How about that, huh? Yeah, Manticores, they're probably one of the best single entity monsters in the game, I'm gonna say. They very, very strong, but yeah, huge props to everyone. Big thanks. Happy Puppy asked me to post this link here. Yeah, she streams on Twitch, and also there's this Discord here. So you guys go be sure to check her out and give her some love from all of us. That was a great game, man. Super close. Those Ushabti Greatbows almost carried the day there. I think, honestly, just a slight misplay with the Eyes of the Desert not being able to screen Arcan from the Manticore. If they had been able to save Arcan from the Manticore, I do think Happy Puppy definitely would have won that. But regardless, great game to Namru as well. Staying tight, sticking to his shades. Beautiful use of the Manticore there. 80 kills, 2 XP chevrons on the Dread Spears. 137, 142 for the Corsairs. Wow, just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Beautiful. That was a great way to end the stream. And that is going to be it for today. Thank you all so much. Big thanks to everyone. Big congrats to Felcon for getting the wins. And yeah, Namru also coming in, taking the throne right at the end and holding off a few more challengers with the chill. So that's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Big thanks, everyone. Let's cue up a little more music. We'll go ahead and back out of here. Go ahead and throw up this Dancing Warzag once again. Oh yeah. Thank you all so much. Been an absolute pleasure. Let Warzag see us out. GG's, thanks guys. Oh man, yep. Yeah, that was awesome. That was really, really good. Really good stream. So, yep, that's going to be it for me for today. I'll try and get one more stream in before I leave. I don't know 100% if I'll be able to, but regardless, thank you all so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.